Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their second of 3 against the Marlins yesterday in a 2-0 loss, their 8th time being shut out this season. Bryce Miller gets the start in a series finale today at 3:40. Pregame show starts at 2:30 right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. I'm going to start by saying 2 non-Mariners related things because we are opening technically with a conversation about the Mariners. Number 1, we have a big announcement coming up at 10:30. And number 2, I can't wait to get to our reactions to that Bucky Brooks interview with Brock and Salk. Great get to Brock and Salk and to Mora in the morning, getting Bucky Brooks on after a controversial 7-10 prediction for the 2026 Seahawks. Diving into that a bit later in the show. Right now, though, Bump, we're starting with trying to figure out what's the biggest issue plaguing the Mariners right now. Seattle dropped the second of a 3-game series to the Marlins yesterday. It was their 8th time being shut out, a 2-0 loss, an anemic offense. A 2-run deficit shouldn't feel insurmountable, and yet fairly early in this game, I was like, how are they going to get this done? Like, how's this going to happen? So maybe I've already revealed my answer there, but what's the biggest issue plaguing the Mariners? Is it offense? Is it Dan Wilson in decision-making? Is it the bullpen? Is it injuries?
It's offense. It's Dan. It's injuries. It's bullpen. It's all the above. It's always a combination of things, right? I could never look at a game, any sport, and say that one thing is the reason why they lost or they've been losing. It's usually a combination of things. But the offense, I was going through stats trying to figure out, all right, what do they do at a high clip? What do these guys do at a high clip? Nothing at this point, Stacey.
Pitching.
No, offensively.
Oh, yeah.
What do they do offensively at a high clip? They just
I wish
don't.
I could tell you.
They don't. I said, all right, well, let's see how many guys we have in the top 100 when it comes to hard hit. You got Julio, Randy, and Young.
Okay.
3. How many? We must whiff a lot, right? How many guys in the top 100 when it comes to whiff? Just 1 in the top 100. Crazy. Barrel percentage. How many we got there? We got 3. And then I looked at some of the teams that are projected to go a long ways, right? The Dodgers, of course, I look at that as my second team. And the Dodgers have just as many guys in the hard hit, just as many in the whiff,
So
just as many barrel. So it's just it's bad luck, and this is leaving guys on base. It's the timing of the hits, right? You leave guys on base constantly. 14.12 guys per game. That's 10th most in the league when it comes to leaving guys on base. And right now, you're 28th when it comes to hits per game. So you're leaving guys on base. You're not whiffing a lot, but it's the timing of all this stuff, which is all jacked up. And then you get late in the games and you start to stress, you start to press. But, yeah, you're right. The one thing they do well is pitching. But offensively, couldn't find anything at this point.
From @Mariners Truther, shout out that person for compiling these stats quickly for me here.
What a name.
Shout out Mariners Truther for getting this together so I could read it easily here. Mariners offense since June 15. 29th in average, 25th in on base, 30th in slugging. There are 30 teams in baseball. I just want to add that context. 25th in WRC plus, 30th in hits, 30th in home runs. That one, highlight _ bold. We'll get back to that because that's pretty massive. 30th in RBI and 30th in doubles. They are not slugging. Because they're not slugging, they are quite obviously not getting extra base hits and not getting home runs. Home runs were, I think, maybe the single biggest part of that 8-game win streak that they had. And think about the difference in slash lines, not just more pronounced ones like Rayleigh between what he did in May and June and what he did in May and what he did in June, but even smaller ones like Emerson has struggled of late. He's figuring it out. I have all the faith in the world that Emerson is going to be a really special player. He's right now figuring out how to respond to a league that's responded to his strong. Exactly. So then you look at Luke Rayleigh, who hasn't had the power there. Then you look at Naylor, who hasn't really turned it on. I've been encouraged by the more recent ABs we've seen from Cal, but he's still not the Cal you had last year. And if you could snap your fingers and have one thing happen to save this team, it would be either that version of Cal or a second half version of Julio. Single best thing you could get right now. So you're not really getting either. And then you have seen, I mean, Dom Canzone's been your best bat. Randy's been your best bat as well. And everyone else is worse in June than they were in May and hasn't really showed much of anything so far outside of an electric, game against the Blue Jays with 11 runs.
No, they're just not very good. Yeah, it is what it is. We can throw all the numbers out that you want or this and that, or he looks better. Oh, but you know what? He's a rookie. Maybe this guy's going to come around here. This guy's hurt. It is what it is. Offensively, they're just not a very good ball club. And then insult to injury. We got Cole Young not being aware of the situation and challenging that last strike, who was clearly outside the zone. That is that's a perfect way to end the game if you're the Mariners, to describe exactly who they've been the past month or so. It's unfortunate, but I still think they can get out of this, right? You know what's crazy? Still in first place. Still in first place.
Someone's going to yell at you for saying
that. I don't care. It is what it is.
The Angels beat the Rangers
first place.
It's still in first place. The new, it's still early. They're still in first place.
Yes, actually, yes. And you know
That's
what?
That's what it is.
And you know what? Get ready for this. If they go into second, I'm going to go, they're in second place. They're
it's
just a game
early.
back. I'm going to start saying it's a game. They're a game back. They're a game and a half back. I don't care because it's still relevant
it's
context. It's still reality. But I don't want this team to limp into the playoff spot by virtue of winning a horrible division. I would like to feel confident that they can get something done. I would like for them to have a bye because they have one of the top 2 seeds. There is half a season left, but at this point, you kind of know what this offense is, and they desperately need help. Let's go to that final point bump because in addition to, they're not slugging. If I had to pick right now, they're a home run reliant offense that's not getting home runs. The biggest problem for me plaguing the Mariners right now. But what about mentality or approach or being on the same page? Let's talk about that final AB. So here's Goldie and Ryan's reaction.
And you find a fastball over the plate. And there's no challenge. It's a shutout win for the Marlins.
We're going to get another look at this last pitch. Something you thought he was going to be definitely challenging. That pitch, 98. Outside the strike zone, Cole Young decided not to challenge it.
Why not challenge? This was Dan Wilson being asked that question after the game.
Yeah, you might as well take a shot there at a challenge. But I think sometimes that's not the first thing that pops into your head in that kind of a situation. So, you still have to remind yourself sometimes about the ABS.
So this is something I wonder moving forward. Is there a conversation then that happened with Cole after that? Now, I would love for Dan to be more transparent with us. Did Dan Wilson, after that moment, after that interview with reporters, tell Cole or tell the team, ideally that would be the case, ideally you're communicating with everyone, hey, this is our plan for late game situations for when we have 1 or 2 ABS challenges remaining. Challenge no matter what. Or maybe hey, everyone has a green light in this situation. What's being communicated to the team? Being on the same page, or rather not being on the same page, to me is kind of an underrated issue with the Mariners this year.
Of course he had that conversation. He shouldn't have a job if he didn't have that conversation. And if that's the first time he's having that conversation, first off, I'm not calling for Dan's job. Don't go that route. But I'm saying that I think he is a capable manager, and he understands that Cole, jacked up in that situation, he's not just going to turn his back, walk away, and let the young man drown. No, that's not what good managers do. That's not what even just barely competent managers do. If that's the first time he's having that conversation, that's a problem. I sincerely doubt that. I think in this situation, maybe Cole didn't get the tap on the shoulder going out there, the reminder to say, hey, listen, this is the situation, this is how we go. Typically, you want to do that. You want to prepare your guys. Also, as a professional, Cole has to take some responsibility as well and just know the situation. Mm-hmm. You're a pro. You're in the situation. What is it? How many outs? How many challenges do we have? So both are responsible, but I doubt nothing was said. You don't watch your guy fail, go into the dugout, turn your back, and walk away as if nothing happened. Somebody coached him up.
Everyone's got to be on the same page. And again, someone pointed out, well, Rayleigh had an opportunity before that and didn't do it. Yeah, it's a less than ideal way to end a game. That individual moment is not why the Mariners are where they are. It feels like yet another thing where some of the injuries feel self-inflicted. Bump, earlier when you said this just isn't a very good offense, they are on paper. And that's what's so frustrating to a lot of people. If you're texting in and you're going like, I don't even care, you wouldn't be mad if you didn't think they should be better. You'd be excited to have them where they are.
I wouldn't say they are on paper. I would say they've shown that they can. Because on paper, Randy and Cole, Luke with bombs are the only ones who really
No, that's what's been happening this year. On paper, you've got a power-hitting catcher. You've got the best center fielder in baseball.
It means by reputation, back of their baseball
By stats, by the history that they've done. I mean, Cal had 60 last year, but had 30 per year before that.
Yeah, I'm just living in the moment. On paper, they are not very good offensively.
They're not.
They should be.
Yes.
But they're not.
Exactly, but they should be, is what I'm saying. Like that, emphasis, that's the disappointing part. And because they should be, it's hard not to look at that final moment from Cole and not to stretch it out over the season and say that some of these mistakes feel self-inflicted. They feel like getting in your own way or not helping yourself. I mean, think about what Cal said the other day. You don't even have to listen to me saying it. Think of Cal after a game the other day saying, we have to play all 9. Compete until the very end. Was that the most competitive way to end a game?
That stuff is so weird to me because all right, I think that was just a mistake. Cole made a mistake. He wasn't locked in.
That's fair, yeah.
Wasn't aware,
Sure.
right? But with that interview, Cal just threw a whole bunch of cliches out there, man. This is what athletes do. After the game, we got to play a full 4 quarters. We got to be locked in. Do you think that in the 8th inning, guys are checked out thinking about their flight?
No, I don't.
I think they compete. I think that athletes say things just to give us something to talk about. He's answering the question. I doubt anyone out there at the 8th inning checks out and says, I'm done. But I think that the focus needs to be there at all times, right? The base running, obviously Cole Young and his deal right there. But to imply that guys aren't competing for 9 innings, I think is a bit much. There's no way these pros are not competing at any level. Maybe go to rec league when you're like 12.
I'll say that. I'll push back, I agree, against the idea that a guy, that Cole in that moment goes, I was just ready to leave this game. Like, you have to be an insane level of competitiveness to, succeed at this level. But then why say that? I don't think it's completely empty language from Cal. We've talked about wanting to see a sense of urgency.
I think he's trying to hold his team accountable. But I've done hundreds of those interviews. You just say things to get through the dang interview sometimes. You just lost. You can't go out there and say, we're going to be all right. Because you're playing you know what. So he has to give us something. I don't think it's empty, but I also don't think that we take everything they say literally, because they have to do these interviews and they have to answer the question, and he has to hold his team accountable.
Okay. So if you think, like I do, that the biggest issue plaguing the Mariners right now, rather than maybe not trying late in games, is just offense, why is the offense an issue?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go talk to a swing coach and figure some things out. Well, we listen, with Cal, we know that his timing's all off, and I think we do believe that he's still banged up. He's not 100%.
I don't think he's 100%.
All right. Obviously, Donovan's not out there. Julio will swing at everything down and away and up and tight. Bad decisions there. Cole's been solid. He leads the teams in RBIs right now. Luke leads the teams in bombs, but he's inconsistent. Randy's the most consistent bat you have. Naylor's having one of the worst seasons that he's had in a long time. He's where is Naylor? He is 13th when it comes to leaving runners on base. They're just not executing. And is it swing decisions? Is it health? Is it stress? It's always a combination of things. I wish I had the answer, because then I go down to the boys right now and be like, all right, this is what we got to do. But every athlete has something else going on. It's hard to lump everything together. That's why baseball has all these dang stats, right? It's hard to lump all the athletes together. Everyone has their own issues. It's just going down at the same time.
Someone said, I place hitting issues at the feet of Seitzer, their hitting coach. Outside of Edgar, situational hitting is not preached to detriment of the team. I don't know that we know that. I mean, just respectfully, I've never been in the cage getting some work in with Kevin Seitzer. If you have and you have that insight, then let me know. Let me know if Kevin Seitzer's out here telling guys, forget about runners in scoring position. Just focus on hitting a home run every at bat. I don't think Kevin is preaching that. And we know that based on what's been reported, that Edgar preaches hit a line drive into center field. That's what you're trying to do. I don't think any hitting coach, and Kevin Seitzer had a really successful career with Atlanta before coming here. I have wondered at times, because this team has consistently been underwhelming offensively, is it a hitting philosophy? Is it a hitting staff? But you've had multiple hitting staffs. And you've had quite a few different players cycle through. And not only that, but last year, this team was third in home runs.
It could just be execution. When it comes down to it.
I think it's execution and you don't have superstars.
When it comes down to it, the coaches can only do so much. I can come out, I've told this to you before. On paper, as a coach, I've never lost a football game in my life.
That's one of my favorite quotes.
Ever. I've never lost one. Now, I've lost plenty on the football field because little Bobby is running the wrong way.
And you know
when
how
we practice all week, we got that way. It comes down to execution. I wish we knew what the communication was like, and I don't think you can disregard that, because if your players aren't executing as a coach, I'm going to say, all right, well, what's my communication like? How come little Bobby ran left when I told him to run right all dang week? Maybe I got to say something different. So it's a combination of things, but end of the day, the dudes wearing the uniforms on the diamond need to take responsibility for that.
That's facts. I think execution is part of this, and it's that thing of you don't quite know how to critique it because you also really like the players and you know that you need them to perform to get to a World Series. But I think that's part of it. Coming from someone who's played professionally and coached, I think that carries weight that, like, hey, sometimes it's what the player's doing. Like when he goes into the box and when he's in that moment, that's no longer Kevin Seitzer. That's no longer Jerry Dipoto. It's just him.
Like when you take little Lukey to the park, you're like, all right, I hope that I've trained you enough that you ain't going to wild out right
exactly.
now.
And
go
sometimes,
be free.
And sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does. I also think that part of it is the reality of where this team is. When you live where they do with payroll, and by the way, a lot of other teams live there. No one else besides the Dodgers gets to be the Dodgers. You have to do a lot of things well. Like, if you're not going to have the top payroll in baseball and a bunch of future Hall of Famers on your team, but you do have a good team, then you can't mess up the other things.
Yeah, gotta be
tight defensively. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get back to this later in the show. By the way, we have a big announcement coming up in less than 15 minutes. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Brendan Donovan has not yet begun a rehab assignment, despite the Mariners saying they'd hoped he'd start one on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
It's not a setback if you don't call it that.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Didn't even start.
Yeah, if you just say, no, we're actually sending him to Arizona. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. He's one of the pieces we're hoping to come back and kind of spark this team a little bit. If you got to wait, you got to wait. Nothing you can do about it. Injuries are unpredictable. So just get right.
Yeah, and hopefully he can, because he was one of Seattle's better hitters when he was here. I think OPSing over 1,000 in April. I can't totally remember. And also was brought here to be a guy when you wanted to add contact to your lineup. It's cool to have home run hitters. I've always pushed back against the idea that, like, you can't be home run reliant. I'm cool with hitting bombs, man. But you did want to round out that offense and have a good guy who could get contact, lead off. And you've never really had that this year.
Well, guess what?
Your
They ain't
plan
doing none of
didn't
that.
work.
They ain't doing no bombs, no contact.
So,
it's hard out here.
I really hope he can get back out there.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2, last week's Mexico versus England World Cup match drew 45 million viewers in the U.S., making it the most watched soccer game in American history. USA-Belgium got 42 million across all platforms. What's the real headline?
We can't even catch up in the ratings.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, big ups to the Latino community. They was watching.
They lifting it up.
It was deep. But I'll take it. I mean, that shows that there's some interest, and I think that's what this country needs, is more interest in the game and more investment in youth. I read or it wasn't even an article. It was a clip I heard. It made so much sense. It said the good soccer clubs in this country are usually in the suburbs. You got to get into the dense population so you have more shots at grabbing one of the better athletes. Well, I'm not saying there aren't great athletes in the suburbs, but, you know, you're in an area with 200,000, you go to an area with 800,000. It's just simple math, right? So there's a lot of things this country needs to do, but sparking interest is one of them. It's unfortunate that you got, you know the worst part is you probably got that guy or girl who never watches soccer to watch that Belgium game and was like, okay, I'm not watching this.
Totally.
It's you lost some people there, but numbers were all right.
Headline Rewrites.
Headline 3, turns out Christian Pulisic actually was injured. He sustained a bone bruise and a microfracture of his lower leg, and he will be sidewined for several weeks. What's the real headline?
Us hearing this news feels like the result of an ego bruise that might be being felt right now.
You want to see the x-rays? Show me the x-rays.
I'm not calling for the x-rays.
HIPAA. That's a HIPAA violation.
That's exactly what that is. Curtis, did you say that there was some exclusive audio that was also uncovered?
Yeah, this is actually from halftime of USA's loss to Belgium. This is Mauricio Pochettino talking to Christian Pulisic after he pulled himself from the game.
What the hell's wrong with you? Put your gear on. I said put your gear on.
The doc told me I can't play.
Yeah, I know. You got a bad bruise. You know what? Put your street clothes on, because I got no time for quitters. Bruise on the leg is a hell of a long way from the heart.
Is that TMZ? How'd you get that?
I mean, the stadium's just down the road.
Okay.
I had the locker room
You were
wired.
just back there.
Yeah, I was like,
you had it wired.
Yeah, I was like, I got to get this audio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's no lengths I won't go to as a producer.
Here's what I want to clarify. I don't think Christian Pulisic is faking an injury. Like, I think that that's real. But I think a lot of what people like Landon Donovan, Tim Howard, and Carly Lloyd, and a ton of people have been talking about over the last couple days, Bump, as you know, is about the tone and the approach and the attitude. It's not about, hey, we don't think you were really hurt. It's about, it doesn't feel like this loss hurt you.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you wanted it enough. And maybe that's not his personality, but if you're a leader of a squad, I mean, you got to put yourself out there a little bit and show some passion. Show the same passion that all these fans showed during the World Cup supporting you. That's all everybody wants, is to feel like you care. And maybe he does care, but it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including myself. I want my guy to come out and be dang near tears, man. Like, I let you guys down. But no, he seemed like he was ready to go to Cabo or something.
I couldn't tell if I was being unfair. Like, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I couldn't tell if that was me not understanding the complexities of actually being a professional athlete and feeling that much pressure, and that sometimes, like, everything you say is going to get nitpicked. And I was like, am I being unfair? Like, why do you have to be upset the way I want you to be upset? But, like, the fact that other notable players, former players, have talked about it, you know what I mean? I find it interesting that a lot of really prominent people have spent the last week talking about this, Bump. It
was the look of relief on his face rather than a look of devastation following that loss that did not sit right with a lot of people, myself included. Like, dude, this is it, man. This might be your best shot at going deep into this tournament.
It's because we grew up on Jordan, Kobe, Tiger. Like, these greats, they're devastated when they don't get it done. They show a different kind of passion. Maybe, how old is he, 27? Maybe I'm just an old 40-year-old man, and this is the way the youngsters are now. I don't connect. But, I feel Carly Lloyd, Landon Donovan, Tim Howard, they all came out and said something.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app, and we have a big announcement coming your way next.
If you're subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube, then you saw Wyman and Bob's latest digital exclusive first.
Cole Young, he is just turning into an absolute star.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he can generate that kind of power.
He's listed at 5'10", 180.
Yeah.
And he's got big pop, just tremendous, and playing great defense. He might be your best overall player right now in terms of the way he's functioning.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and know first. Seriously, what are you waiting for?
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Explore the American Supercar and British Motorcycle exhibits at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Coming up in July, First Responders Appreciation Day, drive-in movie night, cars and coffee, cruise-in, and more. Dates and tickets at americascarmuseum.org.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st. Or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop, his quantum fiber's on top. Ready to go. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
When an emergency happens, be the first to know. Alert Seattle helps you stay safer and connected. This free service includes alerts about severe weather, safety, health, utility disruptions, major traffic accidents, and more. If you live or work in Seattle, Alert Seattle is the city's official emergency alert system. Sign up for text, email, or phone alerts during emergencies near your home, work, school, and more. Text Seattle to 67283. AlertSeattle.gov to learn more and sign up.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grows fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I told you we have a big announcement, and here it is. Wazoo Athletic Director John Haarlow in studio with us to announce the exciting news of a new multi-year partnership between Washington State University Athletics and here, Seattle Sports. Our new partnership makes Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app the official home of Cougar football, as well as men's and women's basketball in Western Washington. John, we're so excited to team up together and relaunch the Pac-12 and the start of the Kirby Moore era.
Let's go.
I know. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to cover here, but first, we just wanted to welcome you, talk about how excited we are for this partnership and for, I think, serving a Coug fan base in Western Washington, too.
It's huge. First off, thanks for having me back. I'm a repeat guest now. This is awesome. So
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. This is huge for us as we continue this. One, the launch of the Pac-12, which is huge. We're back, baby. Here we go. And to continue to try and find ways to broaden our fan base, give access, give insight, to put football and men's basketball, the live action, pre-game, post-game, and have some content with Coach Moore on a weekly basis. We've got to continue to find ways to give access and put that content. What better way to do that with the premier Seattle media outlet? We're ready to go.
Why was it important that you guys have a footprint out here on the west side?
We've got such a large amount of our fan base out here, alumni out here. We want everybody to get to Pullman as often as they possibly can. We try and find ways to bring the Cougs to the west side, make sure we're meeting our fan base where they are. We want them in Pullman 6-7 Saturdays a year, certainly. We got to get over here. We got to meet that market. There's still some Cougs that we haven't been able to access to. And this is ways to get it on the airways this way, share what we're doing, share the good news. And this was critical to that.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Now, John, I've made it clear as a Husky, you know what I mean, that we can be friends. I'm so glad to have you back on the show. But here's why I actually do love this partnership. There are so many Cougs in my life. It's overwhelming. I mean, my co-host and friend Michael Bumpus, my boss is a Coug. They're everywhere in this building. Over half of my fantasy football team are Cougs.
Let's go.
It's incredible. So when I learned of this partnership, I thought, oh my God, my phone's going to be blowing up. I'm going to have all my Coug friends because I'm a Husky. I can find stuff. You know what I mean? I can find content here easily, but I feel like there's a market that's not being served here. Like most of my friends, but also a ton of sports fans here that are diehard Mariners fans, diehard Seahawks fans, coming here for the home of both teams, looking for the latest on the Cougs.
Yeah, now we're right next to those premier franchises on a weekly basis, if not more so. This is a show that we listen to, you all specifically, often. We talk about it as Coug fans. I need to make sure I give a shout out. Kathy's been incredible to work with. Kyle and Arlene, two tremendous Cougs as well. This building is crawling with Cougs, and that's what made this partnership so awesome. I need to give a shout out to Kevin with Playfly, who helps us with our media, multimedia assets and access. They were wonderful in helping make this deal come to fruition. We've got a lot of things, a lot of momentum right now. We've got to continue to stack these, and I think we got the team in place that's doing it.
Well, we're going to talk to Coach Moore once a week during the season. I believe, Tuesdays at 12:30. Am I correct? Tuesdays at 12:30. And, football, it kind of sets the tone for the year. So tell me just about Kirby and what he's been doing with the squad.
Oh, Coach Moore has been awesome. He understands WSU. Growing up as a local guy, obviously in the Prosser Tri-Cities area, he came in, hit the ground running in December, and he's been full gas. They finally have a little break here in July. Let the student athletes take a little bit of a break. Let some of the coaches take a little bit of a break. But winter workouts into spring ball, there's really not an off season technically anymore for these coaches or their student athletes. And he's been a tremendous partner. He understands the culture, gets the bigger picture. And like you said, football sets the tone. Football sets the tone for our university as a whole, and the impact that it can have. We open up against a regional Big Ten school on Sunday on NBC, and there's going to be millions of eyeballs on that. Yeah. And that's the reach, and that's a tone setter for us, and we can't wait. That's a tremendous opportunity.
So like Bump said, Tuesdays at 12:30, Cougs Weekly with Kirby Moore. We can't wait. I haven't talked a ton to him. I'm sure you have. You're obviously plenty more familiar with your program. I've also been cautioned. I can never say a former Coug. I also have to say with Cougs.
There's no former. You're just a Coug.
Exactly. Now I know. Okay, so give me some advice here, John. Like, tell me something about Kirby to help me out with these interviews. I mean, tell us a bit about him.
There's no more genuine human I think I've ever interacted with. He's so family-centric. His family's around the program all the time. Obviously, his dad's back. His brother, Kellen, a head coach in the NFL, has been back with the program. He cares, and he cares not just about results. He cares about the process and the journey. He is so motivated to, again, he wants to win. He wants to win, but he also wants to make sure that these young men are set up for the next phase of their life. So he talks about chasing two dreams. the football dream and then whatever comes next. And he means them. I get to listen to, their team meetings, I get to watch their workouts and just be around. Obviously, he's a motivator, and he gets after these guys in a way that they believe in him and he believes in them. And that's not just from him, but the way he's assembled his staff. There's veterans, there's young energy, there's former Cougs in there, and it's an energetic group. And he sets the tone, and they believe in it, and you can watch it in action.
So obviously we're going to air the football games here, men's basketball games as well. With women's hoops is going to be on the app. How important was it to get the basketball program some visibility too?
Huge. I mean, there's such a huge following both on the men's and women's side over here. Believe in what both of those programs are doing too. Obviously, it's a new era as far as how these rosters are set. The portal age, NIL, rev share age. We've had some transition in our men's basketball program from a personnel, from a student athlete standpoint, but really fired up about the kids that we brought in. There's a lot of talent, a lot of grit in that locker room. Coach Etheridge, she's a proven winner. There's a lot of veterans coming back on that squad too. So I think there's a lot of stuff to root for on the hardwood this year.
I'm also going to do my shameless pitch right now, but it's because I mean it. If you are a Coug listening, not only should you be incredibly elated, but if you do not have the Seattle Sports app, like we said, that's where you're going to be able to find these games. Obviously, on the airwaves, 7:10 a.m. Seattle Sports. But the Seattle Sports app is free. You're going to be able to find these games. Like Bump said, women's hoops also going to be on there along with men's basketball and football. And you can also find interviews. That's where we're going to house the Cougs Weekly with Kirby Moore. Any additional conversations we have with John, a friend of the show. It's not leaving now. You're with us. You're stuck with us. Okay, fantastic. And obviously any articles that we have. So you can also find seattlesports.com content through the app. So latest on recaps for games, fun interviews we have. Tell us a bit about some of these stories that you're excited to be able to share as the Cougs.
Well, I think the story is the key mark there, because in the age of college athletics that we are, we were able to retain 80% of our student athletes. There's a thought out there that everybody's leaving. There's no loyalty. Well, we retained 4 out of every 5 Cougs. That's a big deal. But they're still in an age where we need to be able to tell the stories about what's under the helmet or behind the mask or whatever it is, because there's still a lot more to these student athletes that are here than what you just see in competition. What are they chasing, collegiately or academically? What do they want to do afterward? Where they come from? And this is an opportunity for us to tell those stories, humanize it a little bit, and that's where you kind of tug on the heartstrings, and that's what we're here for, to rally around them, to serve them the best, and we can do that through these channels.
It's kind of cool to feel like Wazoo is the big brother in this conference now. We're bringing everyone in to kind of join what we never left. What's that experience been like, getting to know some of these new ADs and coaches?
It's a great group. They're pushing each other. There are already some rivalries that exist, whether just on the field or as we try and continue to push as institutions. They're all motivated to win. There's not going to be a night off. Doesn't matter the sport.
Right.
There's competition every night. I think it finally gives some stability to our fan base for other schools to cheer against. We're ready for that on a consistent basis, sport in and sport out. They're going to push each other. And getting to the launch date, this July 1, to rebuild, that was certainly a big mark on the calendar. But we're not here just to participate or just to attend. We want to lead it. We want to dominate it. And that's what our student athletes feel. So we preach up and down the hallways. We want to lead them from the front. We've said that from the beginning, even during this two-year grace period that we had. But now it's here. Now it's time to perform. And we're ready to do it.
And we're going to be bringing you those stories and those games here on 7:10 a.m. Seattle Sports, the Seattle Sports app. One thing I'll say finally is I've always been a little bit jealous of this. I'll tell you. Bump has always said, and this is a guy from L.A. who found a home in Pullman, and you've always said, I love Pullman.
Love it.
And what I wonder and have wondered is how many Cougs here, and again, we've got a ton of them. I'm looking at a couple back here in the control room, is how many Cougs here when they're in Seattle and, they've got their families and jobs and a life that they've established for themselves here, still kind of think back and go, man, I wish I could still have that feeling of home here on the West Coast. And now you guys are helping them feel that, which is very cool.
All the ways we can bring connection to give them what they experienced there, the formative years, the memories that were made there. And this is awesome to look in that control room and see how many people are in there. That's pretty awesome. It means something. You can tell how important it is, how important Pullman is. And again, as much as we want people to get back there, we also understand they got some lives that they got to lead too. And as much as we can bring them out here, we try and get out here in person as much as we can. And if there's places we need to go and places we need to be, let us know. We want to be there. But when we can't always be there, this is the best thing for it to happen.
Yep.
SeattleSports.com for more information, and make sure you download the Seattle Sports app. Wazoo Athletic Director John Haarlow. Thanks, John.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Coming up next, we always talk about how the Seahawks are disrespected, but are we doing the disrespecting this time around? That's next.
It's a new era for Washington State Cougars athletics.
You see the Cougar sideline fired up.
So it's only natural that WSU and Seattle sports are back together.
How about that?
This fall, Seattle Sports on 7:10 a.m. returns as the flagship home of Washington State Cougars football and men's basketball broadcasts. The Cougs have never been covered like this.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only, to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data. Need a lift? Levitt Machinery is now your authorized JCB dealer in Washington and Oregon. From telehandlers to track and wheel loaders to excavators, JCB equipment is built to work as hard as you do. Whether you buy, rent, or lease, Levitt Machinery is here to support you. With expert service and local parts in stock, LevittMachinery.com. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-547-9177 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-547-9177. That's 800-547-9177. What do you have to lose? Call 800-547-9177. Again, 800-547-9177.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
From the 253, so did Stacy take Bump on a field trip to the Apple store to get Bump's account sorted? No, Bump did not take me with him to the Apple store. And Matt, do you know how many days Bump's been without a phone? Do you want to guess?
We on 5 right now?
We're on 5.
Since Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
How are you functioning?
I'm good. I'm actually good.
Do you feel actually better?
The withdrawals passed after the second or third day.
Your skin has a new glow to it.
Yeah, what do you even
it's
do
like a
now?
Detox.
Like watch TV or like what do you do without
I still
a phone?
have my iPad, and if anyone really needs to get a hold of me, that is DM me. So there's still some communication going, but as of 9 o'clock, I had 18 hours until they will unlock my phone. So,
wow. So we're on a countdown.
We're on a countdown.
Yeah.
So at 2 a.m.,
yeah,
you can unlock your phone.
I'm setting my alarm on my iPad, and I'm going to wake up and unlock that thing.
If anyone needs to text Bump or say anything to Bump, around 2:30 a.m. is when you can reach him.
Don't do that.
Curtis and I, knowing that you haven't been able to check your phone, have been flooding the group chat, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Yesterday we were like, oh, man, Bump can't read this, but he's going to get so many notifications.
We've been spamming the thread, knowing that once you get your phone back, it's just going to light up.
You're going to get these notifications that, like, on Monday we had a pre-recorded interview. And it's like, well, that's since passed.
It's going to be all of our thoughts from the 2 Mariners games that have happened so far, and presumably the series finale when you won't have it. So
it's like a running diary.
Yeah, you'll be joining us for the
it.
Rays series, so we can't wait to have you back. We have been spending a big part of the offseason talking about how the Seahawks have been disrespected, and I don't think that it's a lame conversation or unfair or unfounded. I mean, they're not favored to win the NFC West, and this is coming off of winning a Super Bowl. But there might be an area where, like, shame on us, because have we been not paying enough due respect to Leonard Williams? Jeremy Fowler's ESPN feature that comes out every single year ranking the top 10 at different positions based on information and votes from like actual executives around football has Leonard Williams number 1 on top defensive tackle ratings. Shout out Big Cat, first of all. And secondly, should we be talking way more about Leonard Williams?
Yeah, we should. I mean, I feel like I have. I feel like locally we do.
I haven't. Then I'll take the fail here.
We talk about Leo, but I don't think we talked about him like this as
not like this.
The best D tackle in the game. I figured he'd be at least top 5 for sure.
Yes.
And this is coming off a season where he didn't have the numbers that he had the previous years, but his impact was crazy. I mean, when the first thing you do when you click on the NFL tab on ESPN, the first article says how our Super Bowl route was built by Barnwell, and there's a picture of Leo right there. Like, that's how important this guy is. He does the dirty work. He takes on the double teams. He cleans stuff up for the linebackers, and he does it with a smile on his face and with an intensity that can't be replaced.
Now tell me what you think of this, because as part of Jeremy Fowler's ranking, he has a quote from an anonymous NFL coordinator who said, quote, he, Leonard Williams, was the most important player on that Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that says a lot. The team with Imawari, with Jones, with Spoon.
I mean,
with
think
Reek
offensively, JSN.
But when you even with JSN's year, when you think of the Seahawks, do you automatically go offense or do you go defense?
Defense.
I go defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people do. No disrespect to JSN, the best season we've ever seen.
No, actually, disrespect to JSN. Bulletin board material though.
Bulletin board. Keep that chip on your shoulder. No, I think Seattle is at its best when it's led by the defense, and he's the guy who makes everyone's job that much better. When you can be dominant on the defensive line, the second and third levels reap all of the benefits. So I would agree. I think Nick Maguire is more versatile. I think Spoon brings a different type of energy. I think Jay Love is the commander in the bag, make sure everyone's in place. But when it comes down to wrecking a game, messing up timing, you got to go with Leo.
And where can Leo and the Seahawks defense get even better, which is crazy to say, in 2026? This is what he had to say back in June.
I mean, I think just adapting to moving pieces. That's something about our defense that makes it great is we try to hold the pen last in all situations. So, again, like we've been learning each other for like the last 2 years. Going on Mike's third year here, people should have more of a grasp of the way he calls defenses, what type of defenses he's calling in certain situations. So allowing us to play ahead of the snap pretty much is going to make, the more we diagnose the defense and get used to all those moving pieces and changes, it's going to just allow us to play that much faster.
Leonard Williams and the defense was so good in 2025, basically wire to wire by DVOA, the best defense in football, that I just kind of assumed heading into this year they wouldn't be as good. And it wasn't because I don't think Seattle can get to a Super Bowl, but it's just like, God, that's going to be so hard to repeat. It's the same approach I had for Cal, where I'm like, he's not going to hit 60 home runs, and that's okay. But is there a world where the defense can improve in certain areas or where they can be just as good?
Well, as you were talking, I'm looking up just their takeaways. I mean, when it comes to interceptions, they were 5th. When it comes to fumble recoveries, they were down a little bit, but that's a lot of stuff has happened for fumble recoveries. Total takeaways, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the league. I think what Leo described will enhance all of these numbers, because when you understand pre-snap movement and you can anticipate what an offense is going to do, you have a head start. You aren't being caught by surprise. Every week an offense is going to do something that you haven't seen before, but for the most part, if you can diagnose and narrow down the probabilities of a play, now your guys are really flying around and making plays. So everything that Leo said will enhance the major numbers that we look at. But I'm sure there are incentives that they have within the building that we don't even know about.
God, I still am so surprised that Leonard Williams came in at number 1. Not because he's not incredible, but just that he's getting that kind of praise. And you know what, Bump? Maybe it's more telling that he's number 1 on a list that's been assembled by GMs and coordinators and coaches all off the record, rather than just kind of like fan votes.
Or writers and analysts and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. People that are on the outside. These are people inside football front offices and coaching rooms.
Yeah.
These are executives. These are not me and my friends and anyone at like NFL.com or whatever. It's people that know football, and saying something like, this is a veteran NFC defensive coach. You can line him up in front of the right tackle, the right guard, the center, the left guard, the left tackle. He can beat them all. He's always had a game-changing ability, and he's putting it all together now, which is also fascinating because he's not traditionally like in the prime of his career age-wise. It's so cool to think that he's getting even better.
That has something to do with his environment too.
Yeah.
The coaching. Mike Macdonald knows how to use that man, and big ups to him. That means he's taking care of his body too, making sure he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I would imagine he seems like someone that has a lot of acai bowls, which are actually really high in sugar, but a great source of vitamin C. I know, I love acai bowls. This is my problem: is I just discovered them. It's my new personality. Actually, no, it's not my new personality, but it was a while ago. Matt, have you ever had an acai bowl?
If I say yes, will you stop saying the words acai bowl?
Probably.
Acai?
Sure, I have.
Okay. Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Bryce Miller squares off against Miami's Jansen Junk in today's series finale against the Marlins. Seattle looking to avoid a sweep here. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. NFL personality Bucky Brooks got himself in hot water from Seahawks fans by predicting that the Seahawks in 2026 would go 7-10. So naturally, Rock and Solak had to have him on this morning. Hear what he had to say next.
It's a new era for Washington State Cougars athletics.
You see the Cougar sideline fired up.
So it's only natural that WSU and Seattle sports are back together.
How about that?
This fall, Seattle Sports on 7:10 a.m. returns as the flagship home of Washington State Cougars football and men's basketball broadcasts. The Cougs have never been covered like this.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Dave Wyman here, and the folks at Bellevue Rare Coins say higher prices have enticed more Americans to cash out their jewelry, gold, and silver items. Here's a story from a real customer. She walked into Bellevue Rare Coins with an old bag of jewelry, a little bit nervous, a little bit embarrassed because it was mostly old tangled chains and pieces she hadn't looked at in years. When they gave her the total, she couldn't believe what it was worth. Go see what your jewelry is worth with a free consultation. Bellevue Rare Coins is now in Linwood, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Bellevue.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
There's always something new at LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma. Explore the all-new British Motorcycle Exhibition and the thrilling American Supercar Showcase. Fuel up at the brand new cafe, then buckle up on the most advanced racing simulators anywhere. Plus exciting events in July. First Responders Appreciation Day on the 11th. Drive-in movie night on the 24th. Tacoma Cars and Coffee with a Hot Wheels track on the 25th. And cruise in on the 30th. Bring the family and see what's new. AmericasCarMuseum.org.
When an emergency happens, be the first to know. Alert Seattle helps you stay safer and connected. This free service includes alerts about severe weather, safety, health, utility disruptions, major traffic accidents, and more. If you live or work in Seattle, Alert Seattle is the city's official emergency alert system. Sign up for text, email, or phone alerts during emergencies near your home, work, school, and more. Text Seattle to 67283. AlertSeattle.gov to learn more and sign up.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their second of 3 against the Marlins yesterday in a 2-0 loss, their 8th time being shut out this season. Bryce Miller gets the start in a series finale today. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. Pregame show starts at 2:30 right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bucky Brooks found himself in hot water earlier this week when he predicted the 2026 Seahawks would go 7-10. If you were wondering about his predictions for the 49ers and Rams, yes, I did look them up. He has the Rams going 13-4, the 49ers second in the NFC West at 10-7. So naturally. Brock and Saul, shout out to them for booking this interview. Mora getting Bucky on right away. They had Bucky on to go, hey, why 7-10? Why cut that win total in half? So let's go over some of his reasoning.
The division is hard. But before we go to the division, this is the thing I think everyone has to understand. And the 12s have been through this before. It is really hard after you win a title to sustain yourself the next year. Normally that next year you come back because there are a few different things. There's some natural complacency that seeps in. The team is never the same. And the energy that you face from everybody is drastically different. With a team that's still on the young side, the maturity that is required to handle that, that's going to be a lot early.
Okay, I'm going to couple 3 of these together. So here's the second. He talked about what the Seahawks lost.
And then when the changes that you have, Clint Kubiak, who I think is one of the top 5 play callers in ball, he disappears. You lose the Super Bowl MVP in Kenneth Walker. You have some change that, to me, I just wonder, can you capture lightning in the ball all over again in a division that is increasingly tougher with the Niners and the Rams loading up?
Asked especially what he didn't like or what makes him question outside of just losing Kubiak and Walker. He said that they relied a ton on JSN.
But I do have concerns about the offense. One that was so heavily reliant on one man, JSN, accounting for 44% of the receiving production, and then an unknown at running back.
So, again, thinks the division is really tough. It's hard to repeat as a Super Bowl champion. It's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice in a tough NFC West. You've lost Kubiak, Walker, and JSN was 44% of your offense last year. Your thoughts?
I don't think those aren't valid points, right? I think JSN was a big part of the offense. I think that you are going to be looked at differently. I think maybe 3/4 of the way through the season, teams were looking at the Hawks differently, like, okay, they're for real. I don't think he's completely off with his concerns, but I think he's off with thinking that all of those concerns will come to light and affect this team in such a negative way that they go 7-2. Only 20% of Super Bowl winning teams have a losing record or a record at 500. So you're saying that this Seahawks team is going to do something that the Chiefs didn't do, Philly didn't do, Tampa didn't do, Rams didn't do, right? He's looking at those teams not necessarily looking at those teams, but he's saying that essentially the Hawks are going to be the first team in about 5 to 6 Super Bowl winning champions teams to do that, which I just don't think is going to happen. I do respect the 49ers. I think their roster's on point when they're healthy. They're good, got good coaching. I respect the Rams as well. But why not respect Mike Macdonald and the Seahawks at the same light? And he talks about the concern with JSN. I think that JSN going for 1,700 yards last season and being a focal point this year is going to our focal point with other defenses. It's just going to enhance this offense because now we talked about AJ. AJ is going to shine more. We'll see what the running back situation looks like. I think Ja'Darn is going to be okay. We've seen running backs ball out. Cooper Kupp's going to shine more. Rasheed's going to shine more. It's just going to provide opportunity for other people to make plays. And when you look at the playmakers, I'm okay with them. Torrey Horton's going to get back too. Mm-hmm. So I get what he's saying. Mm-hmm. The logic makes sense. These are the concerns, but I don't agree that those concerns are going to make this team a 7-10 team.
I completely agree. If Bucky Brooks said, I don't think the Seahawks are repeating as Super Bowl champions, and then he listed all of these reasons, I'd have zero issue with it. Zero issue. If he said, I don't think they're going to repeat as Super Bowl champions because it's a tough division, because it's incredibly hard to do in general, and it's been very rare, because JSN accounted for so much of their offense last year, and I don't love the receiver depth behind them, and they've got questions at offensive coordinator and in the running back room. I just don't see them going 14 wins again and getting to a Super Bowl. I'd be like, you know what, Bucky? That's fair. That's totally fair. But you're right. He didn't say, I don't think they'll be Super Bowl champs. He said, I think they're going to cut that win total in half. He said, I think they're going to go 7-10. 7-10, you're not in the playoffs. No. So you think they go from being in a Super Bowl to missing the playoffs to being third in the NFC West? That feels like a statement. It feels like a statement that there's something about this team last year that you truly do not believe in. And I feel like that's evident when he says, it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice. And that's where I kind of paused. Lightning in a bottle is a catcher hitting 60 home runs. That's trying to catch lightning in a bottle where it's like, oh, what if that was the window? What if that was the time for the Mariners? That's lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle might even be a wide receiver getting 1,800 yards. Lightning in a bottle is something you're probably not going to see again. Lightning in a bottle does not explain what made the Seahawks so great last year. There's always luck involved with getting to a Super Bowl no matter what. But you also had a defense full of like first and second rounders and Pro Bowlers and all pros, and a defensive coordinator turned head coach who had proven that he could succeed at the collegiate and pro levels, dominating by means of being a good defense. Like lightning in a bottle, or was it really good players and a great coach?
I'm with you when it comes to that lightning in a bottle statement, because you still have the majority of your talent coming back. You lose some pieces. Every team loses pieces, but you still have the majority of your team coming back, and you have some cool additions as well. It just sounds like he didn't believe what happened last year. It sounds like he might be one of the people who thought that 2-point conversion won the Super Bowl for them, as Shefty said on one of the ESPN programs. He's just not a believer. And he don't have to believe. You believe what you want to in this world. But if you're just looking at the evidence, right, every year Mike Macdonald has gotten better and better. He's bringing in a new coordinator. We'll see how that works out. And that's the thing, too. He didn't even mention the coordinator. Did he mention the coordinator? Did he mention the coordinator? Okay.
Yeah, I got some more stuff.
All right, good for Bucky mentioning the coordinator. I was going to say, if you didn't even mention the coordinator, I'm really not buying in.
That's the second thing I'm going to play here.
All right, go for it.
Well, let me get to this first. I'm glad that you also kind of, like, your ears perked up with lightning in a bottle, too, because it did that for Brock and Salk.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what do you mean lightning in a bottle? Can you explain that a little bit more?
So when I talk about the lightning in the bottle, I think from the outside, out of the Pacific Northwest, there was an expectation that when the Seattle Seahawks played the L.A. Rams, given the way the Rams had handled Sam Darnold and those things, there was an expectation that the Rams were going to go to the Super Bowl. I live in L.A. In L.A., they feel like they tricked that game off more so than Seattle. I'm not saying they're right or not, but that's the feeling that exists outside of the Pacific Northwest. And so when I look at it, when I talk about catching lightning in the bottle, that was not a sign of disrespect, but they got hot and played their best ball when they needed to. I just recognize that division is very formidable, and they're going to have to be at their best to be able to knock off those two other teams that we talked about at the top of the West.
Again, I feel like that works for like a middling baseball team that goes on a stretch of 10 wins or whatever. That's catching lightning in a bottle, getting hot at the right time. Rocktober is catching lightning in a bottle and getting hot at the right time. This was just two really good teams, quite literally the 1 and 2 teams in DVOA going at it. Seattle won, and yeah, the Rams tricked it off in that they gave up a 16-point lead. That is tricking it off. I mean, you had Jared Verse talking about how they tricked it off and how they took their foot off the gas and like that they kind of blame themselves. But you also need a good team to take advantage of it. Seattle was not a middling, like, wild card team that beat up on a contender because they got lucky and the contender let it go. These were the two best teams in football.
And they came to the house and got smacked again. Not smacked, but got beat again.
Thank you.
It's
in
like,
a different way with Sam Darnold going off.
Yeah, like, why are we – that Thursday night game holds so much weight to some people.
Yes.
And football was played after that game, right? More opportunities to win or lose games happened after that game. And you know what the Seahawks didn't do? They did not lose.
Again.
They didn't lose. You know what the Rams did? They lost. They lost a game, maybe even two.
No one talks about that.
Yeah, it's like, why do we ignore just the flaws or the hiccups that the Rams have had? And I'm saying this with all due respect. I know football. I know the Rams are going to be a good team this year, but they still lost a game after we beat them. So it's but it's just I said it yesterday, it's the identity of the team. People aren't buying in. They're not buying enough stock, at least nationally, to the Seahawks quite yet, even though you have a quarterback that's won 14 games back-to-back seasons with two different coordinators. You have a defense that was better the past 2 seasons, and you have some pieces coming back. I get the concern. You don't have to think they're going to win the division. Mm-hmm. You don't have to think they're going to win a Super Bowl, but 7-10 is it's a bad place to start. Not to say it can't happen. Anything can happen in football. Guys get hurt. I understand that. But to start at 7-10 is what gets me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel based on football things so much as it does perception about a team getting lucky. I know that you said it would be fair to be worried about a new offensive coordinator, that was something you could be like, you know what, I understand that take. So let's get to what Bucky said about a new offensive coordinator, Brian Fleury.
How does he continue to get JSN unlocked when the defenses have now studied what he did going from outside to inside last year? Now we get a sense of what he is. Here's how we're going to handle it. What are your answers? What is Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed? What do they do in roles where they're going to need to complement and support him? All those tight ends, or Rojo and Barner and all those guys, like, how does all of this come together? And it's easy to say, hey, we're going to pick up where we left off. Last year, we're going to go roll. But I learned from Coach Holmgren and those other guys, whatever we did last year, we got to start all the way back over. This year, we got to redo it.
All right, what do you think of that take? He's hesitant about the Seahawks offense, not because they don't have a talented guy with JSN, but because they have to start over with Brian Fleury.
They're starting over as far as the offensive coordinator, but we've heard sound and read and spoke to folks. What did Brian Fleury say he was going to do? I'm going to come in and learn their offense and their language to make it easier on them. I'm not going to come in and change this whole thing up. Now, I'm going to add some pieces to it. I'm going to add some things, yes, for sure. But I think that the third time around, Mike Macdonald knows what he's looking for. He will not have another Ryan Grubb situation. He will not hire a guy who goes completely against his philosophy and they aren't clicking. He hired a guy and probably had this conversation. We need you to come in, learn this offense, put your little spice on it as well, but make the transition easier. It's easier for one guy to learn a whole new language than 40-something guys on offense. So I still want to see what Brian Fleury does, but to say they're starting all over, I think is misleading because he's literally using the same language that they used last year.
Now, if I were to say, guess the first player someone mentions when they're doubting the Seahawks.
Sam.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up with this cut from Bucky Brooks looking at the quarterback.
Everybody goes and says, hey, we can do it. But look, I looked it up. Only 7 quarterbacks have led back-to-back Super Bowl run. Like John Elway is the last guy to pull that off, and that's 97-98 in terms of being able to win it. When we think about the teams going on a dynastic run, right, the Kansas City Chiefs did it. They went 5 and 6 years, but 3 of those were wins. But the common denominator with the teams that have done those kinds of things is, what do you feel about the quarterback? And so do we feel like Sam Darnold has arrived to the point where we're talking about an unquestioned top 5 quarterback. Because if you look at all the other quarterbacks that did it, all those guys pretty much have gold jackets.
I mean, sure, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Elway, like the guys that you're looking at are Hall of Fame guys. That list has also almost included a few others. Mm-hmm. And again, I really want to stress this. Bucky didn't make the prediction that the Seahawks just wouldn't get to a Super Bowl. He said they'd be 7-10. And I feel like all of his, and I love Bucky Brooks. I think he's a great analyst. I feel like all of his answers were about why he doesn't buy the Seahawks as a Super Bowl as a Super Bowl winner.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them were about why he thinks the Seahawks are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah. If he would have talked about maybe like the schedule.
Or like the rest of the NFC, maybe he'd be like, I think the Eagles and the Lions are going to be so unbelievably good.
If he highlighted other teams and what the competition is going to be like and said, well, I like this matchup here, I like that matchup there, then maybe that 7-10 could hold more weight when I'm evaluating what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you know what I think? I think he threw 7-10 out there, and he doesn't really believe it.
Yeah.
You know, there are times where I'll go back and listen to a show. I'll be like, a week later, I don't believe that. My thoughts have changed on that because of research or because of conversations or whatnot. But because he has a platform that he does have, he has to kind of stand on it. But if you listen to what he's saying and how he's describing the situation, it sounds like he's kind of backpedaling just a little bit.
I totally agree. Someone said it sounds like his take is you can't get better, so you must get worse. Yeah, that he thought they were as good as they'll ever be, got a little bit lucky, and that he doesn't have enough faith in the pieces to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Bucky, you got to be ready to defend the point that the Seahawks are going to be a non-playoff team. You have to be ready to defend that take, because this is not, I think they're going to get 12 wins, but the Rams are going to edge them out. This is you saying they're going to have a losing record, a worse record that they've had, I mean, in 10-plus years.
Hey, I respect him coming on a Seattle show and taking the heat, though.
That's true. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, 2 days in a row, you got Brady on your mind. Why is he, and I hate to say this, right again?
He's right again. He said he said wide receivers are like the Real Housewives, like the drama that they bring sometimes.
I love Real Housewives.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because all the things that he said is absolutely true. He said, you're going to have a number one receiver who might get 11 targets one game, 11 targets the next game, then 3. And then that game he has 3, he's going to be upset. He's going to walk around with his head down, pouting a bit or whatnot. And he's absolutely right. Most or some receivers are like that. And the reason, and I'll say this, the reason why they're like that, he says, I get it. But the reason why they're like that is because the ball has to be snapped. The linemen have to block. The defense has to be right. I got to make the right read and make the right throw. He says most of the times they're running routes and not seeing the football. There are about 60 to 65 plays in a football game, and maybe half of those or more than half of those are pass plays. We'll call it 30 to 40 plays. And if a number one receiver gets 3 targets out of 30 to 40 plays that he's running down the field, he might have a little attitude. It's such a dependent position. This is why you get those diva receivers. He didn't like say it's okay, but he says that he gets it. And it's his job to make sure that they understand there are going to be days like this. You're going to get 3 targets. But end of the day, if you're number one, you're going to get 100 receptions. So just hang in there and keep things going. I like the way he said it. Brady right once again.
Second down. Brady, the analyst and the personality, pretty likable.
Yeah.
Who will be on the interior D-line along with Big Cat next year?
Byron Murphy. He was honorable mention on this one. He's going to be on that list next year. I really believe it. Should have been a Pro Bowler this year. Firmly believe it. I saw him a day or two after the Pro Bowl list was released on the huddle on Thursdays. Dapped him up and said, snub. He said, most definitely. I think he's figured something out, and he gets to learn from Leo. They're 2 different kind of football players when it comes to their stature and what they're best at, but you're still learning from a guy who's considered one of the best, if not the best, D-tackle in the game. So I think this is more motivation for Byron Murphy. I know he's going to grind and work hard, come back ready to go. He will be on that list next year.
Third down. What Pac-12 matchups are you most looking forward to?
Of course, I'm looking forward to that first one against you guys. on September 6th. Going to be weird.
Classic Apple Cup.
Weird. There's some non-conference games I'm looking at. I want to see Texas Tech versus Texas, right? Texas State, versus Texas. If they can just put up a little bit of a fight, you can put the Pac-12 on the map. I'm also looking at Oregon State against Montana, because Oregon State has to win that game. Or you can't lose to a Big Sky school. If you get to that game, Oregon State loses that game to Montana, they're going to be talking about how the new Pac-12 are frauds. And then I'm looking at Washington State University against Arizona. Let's get her done.
That's gonna be a good 12 in there.
That's gonna be a good one, man. I like the variety of this of the schedule. You get a little bit of everything. And then who opens up? We got Fresno State opening up with USC. So you're getting a little bit of everything with this Pac-12 schedule. We'll figure out who these teams are pretty soon.
Fourth down. Bucky Brooks is kind of concerned about the Seahawks offense, but you aren't. So why aren't you too concerned about the offense?
Yeah, I kind of said it already, but I think great players attract attention, which allows other players to ball out and do their thing. A.J. Brown's going to have a good year. Rashid's going to have a good year. He has an full offseason with the team. I think Sam Darnold is used to not learning completely new offenses, but having to tweak things a little bit. So many years in his career, he's had a new coordinator. And I think this offensive line is going to be even better than last year. Whether that's Anthony Bradford keeping that role, taking a step forward, or if it's Bo Stevens getting in there. Could you imagine if Bo Stevens wins that job? You got Bo Stevens, you have Grace Abel. You got your guards locked down for the next 3 to 4 years. You already signed your tackles to deals. And your center, Sundell, has been better than what people give him credit for or expected. It's really about that offensive line, because I feel like on the outside, these guys are going to be able to adapt and do their thing. And the quarterback, I feel, is smart enough and savvy enough to go from 2 different coordinators in 2 years, win 14 games and a Super Bowl. This isn't going to be too big of an issue for him. Guys do have to be healthy. You got to get lucky as well. We know how this game goes. But I'm interested. I'm not concerned. I want to see how things work out.
I was looking up A.J. Barner because I don't know what the A stands for, or the J for that matter. What do you think it stands for?
Aaron Johnson.
No. Curtis, you want to guess? Do you know? A.J. Barner, what the AJ stands for?
Oh, I do. Javante.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It says his full name.
Albert Javante Barner.
No, listen. It says his full name is Albert Frank Barner.
Oh.
But he also goes by Albert Javante Barner. Now, if his government name is Albert Javante Barner.
We gave him that name. We gave him that. We was like, you know what? We're going to call you Javante.
He's invited to the cookout, isn't he,
we
Buck?
call you, he's invited.
This says his Javante was his dad's college roommate and best friend. So why not go by Javante?
Javante is the form he takes on when he wears the fur coat and the cowboy hat.
Oh, that's Albert Javante Barner.
Yeah, that's Javante for sure.
That's Javante, absolutely. It's just sprung out. When you said AJ, I was like, I just realized I don't know what the AJ stands for. I don't know that I even could have guessed that the A was Albert. I also would have guessed it was Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't know any other A names.
Alex.
Antonio. Anthony.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Albert Frank, but Albert Javante.
I like it.
But also AF Barner just isn't the same.
Yeah, no one called him.
No one's going
No one
by
says
that.
AF.
No, but Albert Javante?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's getting 700 yards this year. Minimum. Still to come, we are talking about a couple, what was it going to go Seahawks off season? A couple candidates for breakout seasons for the Seahawks this year with ESPN's Ben Solak. That's coming up at noon. Back to the Mariners at 12:30 with Ryan Rowland-Smith. I wonder if Ryan's sick of us this week. We've talked to him so many times. Ryan, we're back with more questions, but we do have more questions and some concerns about what's going on with the Mariners offense. Before we get to that, though, Timeline coming your way next.
She's an icon.
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st, or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grows fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
When an emergency happens, be the first to know. Alert Seattle helps you stay safer and connected. This free service includes alerts about severe weather, safety, health, utility disruptions, major traffic accidents, and more. If you live or work in Seattle, Alert Seattle is the city's official emergency alert system. Sign up for text, email, or phone alerts during emergencies near your home, work, school, and more. Text Seattle to 67283. AlertSeattle.gov to learn more and sign up.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
A pair of U.S. soccer greats are taking team captain Christian Pulisic to task. That's our first story in the timeline. This is all about how Christian Pulisic has handled himself in the World Cup. And I will start by saying, yes, I know there was news this morning that Christian Pulisic was dealing with a bone bruise and a microfracture in his leg, and that is a very real injury. So I'm not saying that
Sounds
it's
like
not.
you're minimizing it, Stacey.
No, I'm not. So that's the news that came out. But there have been so many people. It's not just Landon Donovan. It's not just Tim Howard. It's Carly Lloyd. Sydney Leroux was talking about it. Like, it sounds like after his comment of, yeah, I'm just excited to get some rest, that a lot of people, prominent former players, men and women, have maybe been hanging on to some things. Like, I'm wondering if there was a conversation bubbling under the surface that just a lot of maybe like the casual fan wasn't aware of. I certainly wasn't. So let's dive in. So this was from just prior to the news this morning, but Landon Donovan on his podcast saying that there are people close to Pulisic giving him bad media advice.
One of the biggest problems, I speak to people who are at U.S. Soccer. I speak to his sponsors. I speak to his teammates. I speak to the staff and the coaches. People are fed up with the way things are handled around him. And it's not necessarily him, but it's his agents, his family, his hangers-on, the people are influencing. People are fed up with it. They treat people poorly. They do things poorly. It's always a no. Whenever you want to ask, can we do an interview? It's always a no. You can't get near him. He doesn't say hi to the commentators who do all the games all the time when they walk by. All the other guys come over and shake hands and say hello. There's just this sense about him that, like, you can't get near him. It's too big. And I actually don't think it's from him. I think it's from the people around him.
So he said it's an opportunity to change the people around you.
They need to stop, and he needs to man up and have a conversation with them and say, look, guys, this is not helping me. He needs to get some training on media. I did too. I said a lot of dumb and people are like, hey, Landon, you don't want to come off this way, do you? And I still make mistakes all the time. All of these things can be a positive. I have to say, though, he has a big challenge ahead. Because, Tim, I'm thinking ahead to the next game. And, JR, like, if we happen to be at this game, the next U.S. game in this country, what do you think that's going to look like? Like, think about that. Is he going to get booed when they announce him? Maybe. People are livid. So, anyway, it's a long-winded way of saying this can be a good moment in your life. A lot of things need to change. And I actually think it's not him. I think it's the people around him.
So, again, not super critical of Pulisic himself. And also not critical of Pulisic pulling himself from this game. But again, these are clearly conversations that predated the World Cup. Like, there has clearly been issues brewing for a while about Christian Pulisic, how he handles himself, and mostly how the people around him handle others.
Yeah, it's weird because soccer isn't obviously the one of the four major sports in this country. So it doesn't get a lot of attention constantly. You get attention during CONCACAF. You get attention during the World Cup. That's when all eyes are on you for real. So going off of what Landon says, if I just take what Landon says as fact, right? He doesn't have the media training that one would get as a high school 5-star athlete in this country because the media is going to be all over you. You get to college, same thing. You get to the league, same thing. So essentially you have about 8 years of media training before you even get to the league, and then they give you even more. You have those resources. So what type of resources do they have for the U.S. men's national team? Now the human side of it. If I see a person every day or every game, I'm going to say something to them. Just because you're a human. I recognize you. You talk about me, and that's just the things that humans do. So it sounds like he's been groomed to be a certain way. He's 27 years old now. Sounds like there's a lot of people who are involved in his life who have a lot of control over what he does and how he does things. And when you are in this bubble Sometimes you believe your behavior is common or that it's not rubbing people the wrong way. And maybe this is what he needed to really step back and analyze and say, okay, maybe I have been moving different. Let's try a different strategy.
That's what I'm saying is, like, I know that sometimes if let's say that there's a cut where someone says he doesn't say hi to broadcasters or media. I know that there's someone going like, well, he doesn't have to. Who cares? But I do want to caution the relationship that, like Bump said, that a player is going to have with a beat reporter, or especially like broadcasters and analysts are often former players. It's not me out there. It's Landon Donovan. It is weird to see that person regularly and not, oh, good to see you. Like, just think of how you would interact with colleagues or coworkers, or like, yeah, you don't owe it to anyone to be the friendliest person ever. But if you're a team captain and the face of a team and a leader, were we not saying about, like, this is not the best comparison, but with Cal and Randy, were we not saying, hey, Cal, even if you told Randy and even if this is kind of messy, like, when you're the captain and the leader and the face of a franchise, you do have an unfair burden? Like, we were saying that we're like, if you're the leader and you're the guy, you do have a responsibility to move differently. And if the toughest part about that is just saying hi to people you see every day, you're probably not suited for that job.
It's basic.
This is about Pulisic, not Cal.
It's basic networking and marketing, right? I go to all these events, and I see people that I recognize, I see people that I don't recognize, people who recognize me that don't recognize me. If we make eye contact, I'm saying what's up. It's just natural human interaction in that environment. Before my college football games, Keith Jackson was calling one of my games. Man, rest in peace, Keith Jackson. I went and found Keith Jackson, shook his hand. Thank you for all you do. It's just, that's the way that world works. And it's a little thing that he could fix. And the fact that he doesn't know that at 27 means he got the wrong folks around him.
Mm-hmm. Here's more from Tim Howard talking about how Pulisic should be handling the spotlight.
To whom much is given, much is required. Yeah. He is the face of this team. He is undoubtedly its best player. And when that happens, you will receive all of the money and all of the acclaim, and you'll receive all of the blame. That's how it works. There were times when I was that player for certain teams. You've been that player for certain teams. There were plenty of teams I was on that I wasn't that player. I hope for his sake he isn't on social media for the foreseeable future. He deserves a rest. He can go on holiday. And yeah, there's a dark side. There's a dark side to fame and celebrity. What I would say about him is, when someone tells you or shows you who they are, you believe them. Mm-hmm. I think he's a nice footballer. I do. I think he's a very nice footballer. Still think he's the best player on the team. Outside of that, you'd have to ask me very direct questions to which I could give you very direct answers, but ultimately, he's a nice footballer.
That's interesting. What's fair to ask of an athlete? Like, think of that type of athlete, U.S. men's national team captain type player. What's fair to ask?
Know your role. Know your role. On the field, off the field, meeting rooms, public, marketing, everybody has a role. When I was with the Seahawks, I ain't say nothing. I went to practice. I talk with the dudes.
You weren't
or
leading
whatnot.
halftime.
No, I'm in the back. Y'all got this. I know my role. Y'all ain't paying me $10 million, but the dudes who were getting paid, the Hasselbacks, the Burlesons, the Branches, you know your role. And there are some of those dudes who were wild. Them boys was wild, but they know because of who I am, what I represent. In these situations, I must behave a certain way. And what that does, it gives you longevity within the organization. It allows them to trust you, and it paints you in a leader role. If you're a leader, you have to be a leader. If he's not comfortable with that, say you're not comfortable. Let Flo lead the charge. Let one of these young guys lead the charge, and it is what it is. But it's unfortunate that your best player doesn't know that yet. And he's 27. Mm-hmm. You're not a young man anymore. You're young, and you are young, but you've experienced enough. You've been to AC Milan. You played in the EPL. You've been around superstars. So you're telling me you're not retaining none of this? You're just walking through life with the blinders on? It's unfortunate.
Next and last story in the timeline. Tom Dundon continues to be a comic book villain. Dundon owns the Stanley Cup championship Carolina Hurricanes in addition to the Trailblazers. Now, we've talked a ton about his ownership in Portland, but this time we're looking at Carolina because the Hurricanes got their names etched onto the Stanley Cup on Wednesday. But people noticed something strange. All 7 members of the Dundon family, and I want to say this includes his 5 children. They aren't like front office members where it's like, oh, my son's in the front office. They're just his wife and kids got their names on the cup too. One of these kids is in kindergarten. Now, they've done nothing wrong, so I'm not going to like name them or point fingers, but they're kids. But people were noticing and thought it was kind of weird. Is this standard? Genuine question I have. And secondly, Hurricanes defenseman Joel Nystrom didn't even get his name on the cup despite appearing in 38 regular season games. Maybe because there's not room. I don't know. Friend of the show, Jeff Merrick, asked around about the engraving controversy. And he was told the first time we saw the Stanley Cup with the Hurricanes engravings was late yesterday. We contacted the Hurricanes immediately and sent over a picture for them to use. The Hall did not see the names before they went on the cup, but that's not uncommon. Sometimes they don't see them at all. So maybe not super weird, but definitely controversial on Twitter yesterday.
You wildin', son. You wildin'. If that's the case, the player should have a significant other who's on the cup too. Yeah. Because they didn't, no disrespect to his wife, and though she supported him, the kids, all love. But what did you do to help win a Stanley Cup? You ain't do nothing. I think it's a nice gesture for him to want to put his family on there. But they didn't do anything, and you got them first. Man, put your captains and players on first.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like taking advantage of an opportunity that you have as an owner who can do whatever you want. Taking advantage of an opportunity to just kind of have something your kids can have as a cool sports thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my dad took me to Disneyland. Oh, yeah? Well, my dad put my name on the Stanley Cup. Okay, well, you're 5. Meet me on the ice, I guess. Like, we could duel for this job, maybe. Their names don't belong at the top of this, especially at the expense of other players.
Nah.
That's crazy.
Put your captains up there, man.
And put a guy who was in there for 38 games. Let his name go on there over your kindergartner.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's that one brushed me the wrong way, too. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners and Marlins series finale gets going. Mariners trying to avoid a sweep here. Pregame show starts at 2:30. First pitch is at 3:40. Bryce Miller on the mound. It's coming up on Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. and the Seattle Sports app. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports. Speaking of the Mariners and that controversial decision by Cole Young at the end of the game not to challenge a bad strike call, Manny Acta had something to say about it. That's next.
Those in the know that you can't miss Blue 88 with Brock Heward every morning at 7:45 on Brock and Salk.
The offensive coaching staff, how are they unique?
A tremendous diversity of skill sets and backgrounds. Fleury in particular, 17 years on the defensive side of the ball.
We're not saying you'll get dumber if you're not listening, but you ain't getting any smarter if you miss it. Get Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Culture is a belief. When we have a new hire orientation, it's pretty impactful because there's a lot of people that don't realize that a car dealer has been in business for 93 years and has, built ball fields. And so then they start asking more questions. And then you go back to the store and you see relationships and friendships and you see legacy employees that have been here for 30 years. And then it's like, why is it different? I can't put my finger on it. What is this? Well, that's culture. You feel it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this feels really, really good. And before you know it, now that individual is the one fostering that environment of culture. So then when the next person comes through the door, all of a sudden it's like, you can identify it and you say, this person can feel it. And then all of a sudden, what have we just done? We've built culture.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability. Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details, to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best. Why Seattle and Seattle sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Last night's game ended with a bit of a surprise. Not that the Mariners didn't get it going. It had been kind of a struggle offensively all day, but there's a pitch outside the zone called a strike that wasn't challenged.
And you find a fastball over the plate. And there's no challenge. And a shutout win for the Marlins. We're going to get another look at this lost pitch. Something you thought he was going to be definitely challenging.
And he did not.
98. Out.
So we had talked about it to start the show and just kind of, why didn't he challenge it? What might be going on with this team? Before we get to what Manny Acta said, Bump, you did push back against the idea that, it's not that players don't care or quit.
Nah. I don't think Cole was in that moment, was like, I'm done. I want to get out of here. I'm not going to challenge this. I think that he was young and was not locked in and did not really break down the situation and understand exactly what his options were.
Now, earlier this morning, we did not know anything other than what Dan Wilson had to say about it. But good news, Manny Acta was just done with MLB Network, and here's what he just said about it.
At times, some of the young kids are kind of tentative, and we've been pushing them because we've been really good, but we could be better with our aggressiveness. And, yes, and Cole had done a good job in the past because he knows the strike zone. And it was a bummer, but, you have to move on. You just got to continue to be aggressive because the system is there. You have to use it. I keep telling them, whoever hears me, that, hey, we don't gain anything by finishing the game with 2 challenges on the board. We need to use them. And unfortunately, we didn't there.
I actually like that answer. I thought there was clarity with what they want to do. Hey, we want to be aggressive. You don't get those aren't rollover challenges. For anyone under 25 rollover minutes. It's you don't get to hang on to those and use them next time. So I don't know. Based on what Manny said, I think we know their approach, which is be aggressive, especially late, and that young guys maybe aren't as comfortable. And we'll talk with him and figure it out.
Yeah, it's like a young guy move, right? I wonder how many challenges Cole Young has used this year. I would say, just going out on a limb, that it's probably low because young guys look at, I would assume, because I've never challenged anything, look at situations like that and think, all right, maybe I'm not worthy of a challenge yet because I haven't established myself in my career the way that I want to. But it's clearly something that's been talked about within the organization. He knows that you don't leave games with challenges. I think it's a mental lapse. Sometimes it happens. I've had mental lapse before to where I'm in the huddle, they call the play, I get to the line, I'm like, what the heck am I doing right now? I look over to my boy, hey, what do I have? Okay, boom. It happens. But in that situation, especially in baseball where you have time, you're in the dugout, you're communicating with coaches, it's not a sport that's just flowing the whole 2.5, 3 hours. There's opportunity for you to sit back and understand what the situation is. I think that's the most disappointing part, especially for a guy who's having such a good year.
Yeah.
Defensively, one of the best second basemen in the game, most RBIs on the team right now. He's his July hasn't been great. I think he's hitting like 133 right now.
Everyone's been bad in June,
except
especially.
for Randy. He's like 330 right now. But yeah, it's unfortunate that happened to him, but I guarantee you it won't happen again.
Yes. Before we get to what Manny had to say about Cal, because there was more here, I want to stay on the Cole Young topic for one more second here. 253 says a fair question. Who cares about the challenge? I want to know why they can't score runs with bases loaded and nobody out. It's ridiculous. Yes. But if I could allow myself to answer for 10 seconds as to why I think. And I think Bump and I actually placed different kind of emphasis on the challenge with Bump going like, it's a mistake. It happens. And I think, so I'll speak for people that are bothered by it. I think that what a lot of people are trying to figure out is what's wrong with the offense. Look, no one looked at a team that wasn't top 5 in payroll and thought that they would be top 5 offensively. That's just not really how baseball works right now. But they didn't think they'd be 30th or 28th or 27th. Certainly not in home runs where they were 3rd last year. And I think that there are some Mariners fans that are wondering, well, what's it like behind the scenes? Is stuff being communicated? We saw a breakdown with the bullpen where we know that there have been communication problems. Are guys quitting? Are guys giving up? Now, Bump, you, and I believe you said, look, I don't think that's happening. That just doesn't happen with professional athletes. But I think that's why Cole not challenging, it doesn't speak to Cole, who's had a good year, but it speaks to people trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with this team. So I think that to me was driving the frustration. Let's get to a bit of what Manny had to say about Cal Raleigh. It was a wide-ranging conversation on MLB Network. I've got 2 here. First,
I'm a big fan of the Baseball Classic. Obviously, I was part of it. Big fan, and I'm not an excuse maker, but I don't think the Baseball Classic helped Cal Raleigh at all. He had 9 at-bats in 2 weeks in the middle of a spring training, and you can get 9 at-bats in 4 days. Just hanging out in spring training. And I think that really hurt him. Then he came back and probably tried to do way too much the last week of spring training, trying to accumulate the at-bats and the playing time that he missed during the Classic, and that kind of hurt his oblique.
So he thinks that the oblique issues with Cal started with him trying to cram everything in and play catch-up when he wasn't actually, not like in shape to do it, but you hadn't ramped up to it. Then he said trying to gut out the oblique was a problem, but he's optimistic about the second half. He's such a team-first guy that he kind of played through pain, and that wasn't helping him at all. And, he paid the price, but, he earned our respect. Not that he didn't have it, but Cal is such a team-first guy that he didn't think about himself, and he was just thinking about the ball club. And but I think he's healthy now. He's getting into a groove, and he's going to take off in the second half. I would hope so, Bump, because if we talk about what's wrong with this offense, it kind of starts with Cal, and I'll throw in Julio and Naylor not playing like their best selves.
The mess up part about listening to Manny, and we love Manny, had him on the show, is that he could be telling the truth, but I'm still going to be skeptical because he's their coach. He's one of the guys. Like, look, I got to make sure my guy knows that I support him 100% and I believe in him. So maybe he does believe it, but there's nothing else that he was going to say. He wasn't going to say, yeah, Cal's cooked for the year. That oblique is really jacked up. We got to depend on someone else. No, you always gas your dudes up. I hope that he's right. And I think it's safe to assume that Cal was hurt. We know he was hurt. And I know what it's like when you're trying to just rush back from something. I got a friend, he stopped working for a while because he got a car accident, hurt his back. Then all of a sudden the doctor clears him to do stuff. This dude went skateboarding, started flag football, doing golf. He's like, but my body's all jacked up. I go, yeah, fool, you doing too much. Like, slow it down. That's on the lower level. Now imagine Cal that's trying to catch up. I only got 9 at-bats. I'm in the cage every single day. Now I'm doing all these things with him. It really should have been a slow progression. I hope that's what it is, and I hope Manny's right.
ESPN's Ben Solak joins us next.
Congratulations, Randy Arozarena, 2026 All-Star.
It is grand salami time! Randy Arozarena clears the bases.
It's kind of helped them hang in there throughout this year.
He likes being on the big stage.
It is gone! Randy Arozarena strikes again. Welcome to Randyland.
From the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
The way you met, the moment you knew, the future you're dreaming about together. At Klein Jewelers, we believe your engagement ring should be just as unique as the journey that brought you here. That's why we specialize in custom designed engagement rings, crafted to reflect your style, your story, and the life you're building together. Our experienced team will guide you every step of the way, because when you're creating a symbol of forever, every detail matters. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this late-night ad to make you more alert, which could help your driving. And science tells us that pulsing beats faster, stimulating audio like traveling sound, and voices on the higher,
so-called brighter end of the audio spectrum like this can encourage focus.
Also, a familiar tune can help, so...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Explore the American supercar and British motorcycle exhibits at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Coming up in July, First Responders Appreciation Day, drive-in movie night, cars and coffee, cruise-in, and more. Dates and tickets at americascarmuseum.org.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or Mazdaofeverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their second of 3 against the Marlins yesterday in a 2-0 loss, their 8th time being shut out this season. Bryce Miller gets the start in the series finale today as they look to avoid a sweep. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 2:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's Ben Solak joining us now. Ben, how's it going?
I'm well, Stacy. How are we doing?
We wanted to start by asking you about a breakout candidate. You've detailed a couple for teams around the league. Who did you look at for Seattle to have a breakout season in 2026?
I did A.J. Barner, and I think that many Seahawks fans would argue, okay, Barner kind of already broke out for us. But I think that the Seattle fan says, all right, Barner's a good player, he's a solid starting tight end. Oh, wonder what Elijah Arroyo would do, so on and so forth. And then I think the average national fan would say, oh, A.J. Barner, he's that one tight end who's on the Seahawks who won the Super Bowl this year. When in reality, Barner is I called him a rising top 10 tight end. I don't think he's in that conversation yet. I think he will be there when we talk about this again next year. And that's because the way we talk about tight ends in the league is changing. I think 8 or 10 years ago, you were trying to get some of these lighter guys, some of these faster guys, right? Evan Ingram was coming out in the draft. Noah Fant, all 245, pounds. We're talking about their receiving ability and where's the next Travis Kelce, and we're going to throw the ball to these guys so much. But as the league moves to these multi-tight end sets, you really need what a traditional Y tight end, right? A guy who can put his hands into the dirt, who can move somebody, defensive end, one-on-one, and then is also still a viable receiver, if maybe a spectacular Travis Kelce receiver. And that is A.J. Barner. Barner is a highly impactful blocker. He is a glass-eating, crunch-your-face mask, sort of a physical presence. Matters a lot in the running game. And then as we saw with Clint Kubiak, he could get some of these big, designed, explosive receptions down the field. He became more of a security blanket as the year went on. So now in the Brian Fleury offense, obviously Fleury used to be the tight ends coach with the 49ers. He watched George Kittle for a long time. I think you'll see more of the passing game get put through Barner because Fleury knows how to build a passing game around a tight end who's not a Travis Kelce, light up in the slot type, but is a George Kittle type where, hey, you're really going to crunch in the trenches, create movement in the running game, and we're going to hit you on some big play action. So I think he's going to have a bigger receiving year than he had last year. And I think there's going to be more visibility on just how good of a blocker he is and how that opens him up in the passing game.
What's your favorite part of his game?
I mean, he's a son of a gun, right? I mean, he's just a physical, nasty, angry dude. And now, he's got really nice ball tracking and adjustment ability, right? I think about that big catch he had against the Rams there on that play action fake, and he's wide open, and Sam throws to him on the shot play in the end zone. But ball's not great. It's a little bit long. It's a little bit upfield. AJ sees it and adjusts to it really well and goes and addresses it away from his frame and makes the catch. And so he's reliable in terms of adjusting to those downfield balls, which you really need your tight end to be that if you want him to be like a shot play guy for you, which is what I think Barner can be. Not a lot of tight ends in the league are like explosive play dudes. Most of them are stick-moving types. And so you really need to be able to adjust to the football. He can do that. But my favorite part of him, I remember this when he was a rookie, right? When he was supplanting Fant in 2024 in terms of that rotation. This guy will just not, he will go toe-to-toe with the defensive end. He will generate displacement. He will create movement in the running game. You can run behind him. And just the list of guys that can do that in the league that you also want to throw the football to, there's 7, and A.J. Barner is one of them.
Seattle, an unreal season last year. Obviously, that's not just because of the Super Bowl win, though. It's they were wire to wire, number one in DVOA, certainly defensively, but just really, really dominant all year long. And I know that you can't count on having exactly the same team. That's not only because they don't have the exact same personnel, but it's also because you're just probably going to have some regression with how dominant your defense was. Where do you think Seattle is facing the biggest risk of regression, I'll say offensively or defensively, and how can they make up for that?
So I think offensively, last year Jackson Smith and Jigba had 44% of the team's total receiving yards. It's the biggest number we've seen in terms of one player demanding market share since 2012, last 15 seasons.
Wow.
You can't, no. That's sick. That's awesome. I'm so glad it happened. JSN was amazing. That's not healthy. You don't want it to be built that way. You want to have a guy, and then you want to have dudes that you can also get the football to in order to support the guy. And so if defense is over-indexed to taking him away, then you can throw to those other players, right? What Kubiak did last year by, week 19, week 20, week 21, where he's all right, I'm lining, Smith and Jigba up in the backfield now to get him the football. He was doing everything he could to build the whole plane out of JSN targets. And you saw the Seahawks this year of all the guys that they could have resigned, keep Rashid Shaheed. And I think that that's a sign that they understand we really need our secondary and our tertiary pass catchers to be able to handle more total volume this year. Shaheed plus Kupp plus Barner plus, Horton, whatever you get out of some of the bottom of the roster guys. They need to account more for the passing game. Now, when that happens, your efficiency is going to go down. You're not throwing to JSN anymore, right? You're not throwing to the league-leading receiver. So the passing game is just not going to be able to be a solar system the way it was last year, right? Where everything revolved around one sun, and that sun was powerful enough to keep things on track. We just don't see that. Like I said, it's the first time in 15 years. It's unrealistic to expect that again. Defensively, I think that you're going to see, the number one thing you're going to see is the departure of Reek Woolen plus Kobe Bryant just makes the margin in the secondary a lot thinner. Whenever we talk about secondary play, we'd love to talk about these star, versatile players, Devon Witherspoon, Nick Amonwari. And I love Devon Witherspoon. I talked about him all the time glowingly after the Super Bowl, how he lets the Seahawks defense do everything you want. But in order to really unlock highly versatile players like that, you need guys like Reek Woolen who can be part-time players as outside cornerbacks. That's not really a thing that we see in other defenses. But you need to have that long height, weight, speed guy. That way, when you don't want the Witherspoon matchup on the outside, he's a smaller, more slot player, you can solve the problem with Reek Woolen. You need a Kobe Bryant who just, for every sneaky, silly lineup and clever blitz that you did with Nick Amonwari, there was Kobe Bryant behind him who could drop to the deep middle, who can go play into a short zone, who can just kind of react. Like, if you're going to be versatile with Nick Monwari, you also need to be versatile with your other players. And Kobe Bryant was a big part of that, right? College corner who converted to safety. He can kind of do it all back there. So you let some of these players go, and you keep your stars, right? Julian Love and Witherspoon and Monwari. But the margins are just thinner, right? You really need Josh Jobe to do what he was last season. You need a Ty Okada to do what he was when he stepped up, as a UDFA. It just, like I said, it tightens your margins in the secondary there. You're now like one injury away, whereas last year you really had impressive depth.
Hey, how do you think, or why do you think JSN was still able to put up those numbers? Because you would assume, right, halfway through the season, maybe 11, 12 weeks through the season, that defenses would focus on trying to take him away.
Yeah, really, really hard player to take away because of how Clint used him and because of how he's built, right? When Puka Nacua is leading the league in receiving yards and receptions, right? I know how the Rams are going to use Puka. I know what they're going to do with him. I know the menu of routes they want to give him with the deep in-breaking stuff. I know that they want to use him in the backfield to tighten the formation because of the physicality. I know where he's going to be. With JSN, you just didn't know where the guy was going to be. Like you had a game plan for everything. He led the league in receiving from the slot, and then the very next year led the league in receiving from out wide. But that we don't see that, man. That's crazy good scheming and good coaching from Clint. They had such a deep list of plays that were just like the get the ball to JSN plays, the relying JSN plays. And even when they got on those plays, like I remember against Washington, that huge game they had, they have a touchdown at the seam to Elijah Arroyo where the concept is designed to get JSN isolated. He's the only player on the backside. It's like man-to-man coverage. You're going to throw him a vertical ball one-on-one. And the Commanders, facing 3-by-1, like JSN's alone on the backside, they still go and double JSN. They are begging anybody else beat us but this guy. And Sam just right in rhythm, gets to the front side, throws a beautiful seam ball to Arroyo. He catches it, touchdown. And so, Clint was so good at building the whole plan out of JSN, such that you had teams doubling him when he was alone, when there was nobody else over there. Like true doubles. We barely see that in the NFL these days. And then Sam was able to make teams pay in those moments. And so JSN's just so multiple, right? If you want to say what's his superpower relative to Puka Nacua and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and the other top receivers, what JSN's superpower is his versatility. He can run every single route from everywhere. So it's really hard to game plan against him Monday to Saturday, so you don't really know what you're going to get.
God, hearing this makes me a little bit nervous about Brian Fleury. And it's not that he doesn't clearly come from a good coaching staff, a good coaching tree with 9 years there with Shanahan, and a good coaching background, right? Run game coordinator. Mike Macdonald would certainly love that. But you just have no idea what to expect. And Ben, it's funny because when Clint was hired by Seattle, he was clearly a name, especially a surname that we all knew. But maybe because he wasn't the most vocal person, there was 2 or 3 great weeks from New Orleans, and then they got so banged up you didn't really know what to expect from Clint. But I don't remember people being he's brilliant when he got here, and then it just turned into such a perfect match that he's now with Vegas. I don't know what to ask you about Brian Fleury, but I do know to say I'm kind of nervous now. I'm nervous. I am more nervous now about Brian Fleury. How should we be making sense of it, or what are we watching for here?
Yeah, and the other thing about Clint joining the Seahawks there is that was his third stint as offensive coordinator. So you learn something, right, when you're with the Vikings in 21 and the Saints in 24, and then eventually kind of a light bulb comes on, much in the same way that JSN wasn't this player in year 1, but he was in year 3, right? Guys need time, and unfortunately, the only guys who get time are often the guys who have last name Kubiak here in the NFL, but this is just the nature of things. It is, this was an unfair comparison, but when Kubiak left and Fleury was coming in, I went back and I looked and said, okay, who did the Falcons hire right after Kyle Shanahan, right? Who did the Commanders hire right after Sean McVay? Which, again, is a very unfair comparison to make. I don't know if he's that level, but when you lose a scheme god, what happens next? And for the Falcons hired Steve Sarkisian, who has gone on to become the head coach at Texas and has had a wonderful career, but he lasted for 2 seasons because the offense unquestionably took a step back, right? With McVay, it was Jay Gruden, and we all know kind of how that one went down. It is hard to endure from a personnel management perspective, from a morale perspective. It is hard to endure the inevitable letdown that when you go from a scheme god, one of the 2 or 3 best guys doing it in the league that year, to a guy who in Fleury might just be good. He might just be solid. He might be a good OC, but you're going to feel worse because you are worse. And you have to be able to kind of keep everybody rowing the boat in the same direction and prevent frustration and still rally around the fact that you're not as elite at the play calling position as you were. And so you're right to say we don't really know a lot about Fleury. And that means the entire range of outcomes is on the table. But what is most likely, because Clint was so good, is that you're going to be worse at the play caller position this year. And when that happens, there's going to be Sam frustrations, and there's going to be JSN frustrations when he doesn't have the same just world-ending numbers that he had in seasons previous, which means the media is going to ask questions, which means there's going to be some weird comments in the locker room. And it's on Mike Macdonald and Brian Fleury to just kind of keep the room together, weather the storm, learn the lessons week over week, and hopefully have a good enough defense you're still winning these games, and there isn't, a full spiraling there on offense.
High expectations for the Rams. What are yours?
Yeah, I think that last year, the unquestioned two best teams in football were the Rams and the Seahawks. I think that was pretty obvious by week 15. And then obviously I think that was borne out in how the playoffs went down. Now, one of the best teams in football added Myles Garrett and the other one didn't, right? And so that's kind of, why I think you've seen the conversation flip so much to be about the Rams and about what they can do this season, the end of Stafford, maybe the end of McVay. They're going to get Garrett. They're going all in again. Here we go. I do think that, the Rams didn't have a pass rush problem last year. I think Garrett absolutely helps, but I think that people think that when you add one elite guy to an already elite team, you get the full value of the elite guy. And the reality is you can just only be so good at football, right? Eventually you kind of just reach a point of diminishing returns. And so to me, the two best teams in football remain the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams added Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, added Myles Garrett. Only major loss was Rob Havenstein at right tackle there. Versus the Seahawks, who have, more substantial losses. You lost Kobe Bryant, you lost Boye Mafe, you lost Reek Wallen, who, these are sustainable, Kenneth Walker. These are sustainable losses, but they are significant losses. And so I think it's fair to give the Rams right now the slight edge in the NFC West relative to the Seahawks, and accordingly give them the slight edge in the NFC relative to the Seahawks. But as Seahawks fans should know, man, those games came down to really tiny freaking margins last year between these two teams. And even with the losses from Seattle and the additions for the Rams, I would expect the margins to be really tight between these teams again. And so, get another happy bounce on a 2-point conversion and you're home free again. That's the nature of the NFL is when you have two really, really elite teams, it's going to come down to some bounces.
He is ESPN's Ben Solak, kind enough to join us. Thanks so much, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, guys. Y'all be well.
Make sure you're reading the latest from Ben at ESPN.com. Picks Albert Javante Barner for his breakout candidate in 2026. Before we move on to headline rewrites, what did you make about what he had to say about the departure of Clint Kubiak? You've said over and over, as has Brock, that if anyone was to point to anything that made sense to you guys about why you could be a little bit worried about the offense or about the Seahawks in 2026, it would be the loss of Kubiak in the introduction of a new OC, not just the loss of Reek Wallen or whatever else. I feel like that added context that made me both more curious and also a little more nervous.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you lose a major part of what you're doing, you got to be nervous. I'm nervous but optimistic just because I think that Mike Macdonald knows exactly what he's looking for. I'm nervous because Fleury's never called plays in the NFL before. I'm optimistic because he's working with a veteran quarterback who's used to working with a whole bunch of different OCs. For every positive, there's a negative, right? There's a counter for everything. And that's why you just have to wait and let this thing play out. That's why people aren't really focusing on the Seahawks, because for every positive, there is that negative. So he's got to wait and see how it pans out.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite! Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Brendan Donovan has not yet begun a rehab assignment, despite the Mariners saying they'd hoped he'd begin one on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
It's not a setback if you don't call it one.
Zach, it's all about wording, right?
Yeah, what it is he's just getting some more work somewhere we didn't think he would be.
Yeah,
that's exactly not a setback.
Not at all.
It's not a setback.
We're getting back.
It's a get back. It's a get back.
Yes.
Thank
get back.
you.
Not a setback. No, it's we just got to see him. Especially now, you've lost 2 games in a row. The offense has been horrible. You need all the help that you can get. Don't rush him back, but we'll love to see Donovan back soon. I
am going to be honest. I didn't know that we'd see Donovan before the All-Star break, so even though it's not great news that he still hasn't made his rehab debut, that he still hasn't started his rehab assignment when they expected him to earlier this week, it's also not that far off from where I thought he'd be. I did not think we'd see him until the end of July, if not in August. That's a tough, dealt with a couple injuries, and it's one thing for Cal to work his way back from a grade 1 oblique. It is another thing for someone who's had sports hernia surgery to work their way back with other oblique injuries.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough on the body. Honestly, I didn't know when to expect him. I kind of just pushed him out of my mind for a little bit and focused on the guys who are here.
It makes the pain easier.
Because they were given something. Like, all right, well, maybe we're turning a corner. Maybe we can get this. Now I'm looking for Donovan. Like, I don't know. I'm just looking for him now. I need you now. I need you. Searching.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, last week's Mexico versus England match drew 45 million viewers in the United States, making it the most watched soccer game in American history. USA-Belgium got 42 million across all platforms. What's the real headline?
God, we can't even catch up in the ratings. What do you mean we didn't have the highest watched?
There's
Still
more.
Second place.
There are more Latinos in this country that love soccer. And that was the difference.
No, Mexico was carrying that one.
Yeah.
Didn't end up winning,
sure.
but was carrying the ratings there.
They were carrying for show. But no, I think either way, didn't win that, but you got 40+ million eyes on the game. That's where you win. The jacked up part is you lost some eyes because of that game. They're going to be like, I'm not watching the U.S. They lost 4-1 to Belgium. It's supposed to be the best team we've ever had. It was the best team we ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They just couldn't step up when during the big moments against a quality team. I interviewed a guy from Belgium after the game, and I said, did you expect 4-1? He goes, yep. I go, why? He goes, well, we beat them 5-2 in a friendly. I go, you're right.
That's
right.
a friendly.
But mentally, though, it's a friendly, but Belgium's walking in there like, we're going to smack them again. The U.S. is walking in there like, dang, they did get us last time.
Okay, if Belgium really thought that they'd smack the U.S. and it wasn't close, then why even try to appeal?
The fans did.
Then I wouldn't have been mad at all.
I wish I talked to a player. I would
right?
love to talk to a player.
Then I wouldn't have been mad at all about Flo Balogun. I'd be like, great, fine. This doesn't make a difference. Yeah, no, I think you're right, though, that, like, for a more casual fan or for a novice like me, right, like, I tune into the World Cup when, like, I don't know, is the U.S. competitive? You definitely have that feeling of, like, well, if I was told this was the best team and they ended up in the same place, more wins, but ended up in the same place, then what's it going to take to get past it?
We need some basketball and football players to flip sports.
We need some fire in our gut.
Focus. Fire our gut.
We need some
Focus on
fire in
soccer.
our gut. Can we find that Jonathan Cannon cut somewhere again? I desperately need to hear it. Let's get to our next headline rewrite.
Headline rewrite.
Who took the bus here? Fire in your gut.
Headline number 3, turns out Christian Pulisic actually was injured. He sustained a bone bruise and a microfracture of his lower leg and will be sidelined for several weeks. What's the real headline?
Us hearing this news feels like the result of an ego bruise he might be feeling right now. Now, again, I don't know that it is. The injury is real. He really did pull himself from the game. But there's been a lot of talk about Christian Pulisic. And it sounds like there weren't thoughts that just started as a reaction to his post-match comments and are more the floodgates opening on conversations that have been happening about him for a while now. That's what it feels like from the outside looking in.
I mean, once you get the names that have been outspoken about him, his behavior, or how he's been presenting himself, that's when everyone starts to pile on. But this could be something that's been brewing for a long time, and this is the moment that just, made the cup overflow. And now we see it for what it is. There's still a chance for him to right his wrongs and become the player or the leader that this team needs. But right now, he's got to endure. I mean, we criticize basketball players when they don't show up in clutch, quarterbacks, any other sport. This is new to him because he hasn't gotten this type of spotlight with this expectation. So there are some people on the text line saying, oh, it's overblown. You guys were on him too much. No, we're doing the same thing we would do with any other athlete. If you are our best athlete, you are a captain. You are expected to perform in the clutch moments, and he just wasn't able to do that. It's unfortunate he was injured. I hope that's real. But you got to learn how to handle these things and move on.
Well, and we earlier had a conversation in the timeline about what's fair to expect of athletes. And Bump, you said, look, Tim Howard said in his cut, heavy lies the crown. And you said, look, some athletes have a different responsibility. Like, you have to know your role. That your primary job is to know your job and what that entails. And the job is a little bit different for Christian Pulisic compared to first guy off the bench or whatever. So, Matt, do you have the fire in your gut?
Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast. Be who you are. Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
The music was
No, I had chills this time around. That's one of my all-time. That cut, which is now years old, it's basically the 8th Steve, Varsity, are my 3 favorites that exist, I think.
What about Corruption? That's a new one.
Oh, no. The Corruption is in there. But is it... So it's on the Mount Rushmore, but is it top 3?
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved. Yes.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
Can I hear basically the 8th Steve if we have it? Basically the 8th Steve might still be my number 1 because I'll say that to no one just walking the dog. Basically the
Now
8th.
what? Was the 8th inning? 9th inning?
7.
Basically the 8th, Steve.
I love basically the 8th Steve.
That's awesome.
That one might be my favorite. Yours is Corruption now.
Yeah.
But
Corruption.
Fire in the Guts top 3 for me.
Here's a classic.
Running out of guys out here.
Yep.
We're on reserves. Practice squad guys. I'm ready to roll if they need me. I'm 26 years old.
All ready to roll.
I played 2 years. Varsity. I'm in the best shape of my life. Let's go,
Those have to be the most played cuts on our show all time. Easily. Ryan Rowland-Smith joins us next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And summer in Western Washington, you know it means trips to the beach, summer barbecues, little golf, that vacation maybe you've been looking forward to. Well, when you take those pictures this summer, don't you want to look and feel your very best? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and trust me, you can do this so fast. I lost 15 pounds just in the first 2 weeks, 35 pounds after 8 weeks. How about that? There's time, so what are you waiting for? Schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Here's what to expect. Safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss, no exercise, no pills, no injections, no surgery. You're eating all real food that you buy at the grocery store. You will lose weight, and you will look and feel your very best. That feeling, it's just on the other end of your 15-minute consult. What's the secret? You'll find out in only 15 minutes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Schedule your quick intro today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Pacific Power Batteries understands batteries for golfers. Batteries for your car, your golf cart, and your bag's electric
electric cart. We also sell good, used 5-year-old E-Z-Go and Yamaha golf carts with a written satisfaction guarantee starting as low as $17.99. Located in Everett, Marysville, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Monroe, and Wenatchee, you'll find our staff is well-trained in batteries and the latest charging technology. Pacific Power Batteries, with batteries for golfers.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026. From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Joined now by Mariners analyst Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, we knew that this road trip would be pretty tough. Hottest team in baseball. Again, one of the hottest teams in the American League after. I'm still kind of disappointed, though, with the offense not being able to put up much of a fight yesterday. Like that they clawed their way back in, but wanted to see more. Sum up your feelings so far about the road trip. Only 2 games in.
Yeah, tough. And you know, give the Miami Marlins some credit, too. I think a lot of people, back in Seattle aren't quite aware of how good this team is. And they are good. They've got that youth energy about them. They can beat you in different ways. The speed is a bit of an element, too. We saw that last night. But last night was tough. And I was doing the post-game with Shannon, and we were just talking about just the energy in regards to the offense in between some of those George Kirby innings. He just felt like just nothing doing in regards to getting guys getting guys in. You're facing the second guy of the series who is just going to be nothing but secondary pitches. You're trying to, in that situation, you're trying to hunt a part of the strike zone as opposed to a certain pitch. And it was tough. You get Max Meyer that first night. That's going to be extremely difficult to beat him. And they end up essentially knocking him out of the game. He started to fade a little bit, something he hasn't done a whole lot. And then the second night, you get a guy in Tyler Phillips who, he's kind of that in between where he's much more success in the bullpen, kind of has that bullpen mentality, but he's finding his way back in the rotation, and you can take advantage of that. But they just simply didn't, and it was a tough one. He just had that feeling, Stacey, once you got to the 5th, 6th inning, that there was just nothing doing offensively, and you were just going to have to wear a shutout, wear a 2-0 loss. It was a tough one. It really was.
A lot of the questions that Stacy and I have are about the communication, and some of the stuff we just don't know. But I'm wondering about the approach of Cole Young that last at bat. Like, I would assume, because obviously from my perspective, football guy, right? I'm in the huddle, I get the play, I'm getting to the line of scrimmage, I'm breaking out all the scenarios, right? All right, what needs to happen, what's going to happen. I would assume that Cole Young in the dugout or maybe on the batter's box or on deck was just standing there kind of breaking down the situation. What do you think happened? Was he just caught up in a moment and just forgot about the challenge?
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, we, definitely on the TV side, we said we spent quite a bit of time on it when you didn't challenge, because what you got to lose? Obviously, that you have the challenge, and that's why we talked about this with Randy Rosarina burning those 2 challenges at home against Dylan Cease. Well, keeping that 1 or 2 late in the game, that's what they're for, and that was the extreme situation. And I guarantee you, after the game, teammates would have said, hey, or coaches, okay, what were you thinking? Not in a bad way, but hey, did you get caught up? Did it come at you too quick or whatever? Because that was one that could have easily got him to a position to get something he could handle. And by the way, he was starting to get some healthy swings against a guy who had really struggled confidence-wise and struggled to have some consistency in Pete Fairbanks. So that was a tough one. And he'll get asked about today, and he'll probably give the same answer saying, yeah, I should have challenged. Maybe there was a bit of, he froze at the time, or maybe he didn't get a real good look at the pitch. I'm just trying to, come to his defense in the best I can. But let's get real, man. That was a tough one, because you were in business. You're only down by a couple runs, even though I mentioned the fact the offense had just felt kind of lifeless there in the middle of the game. But you're in a situation where you have a closer who has really struggled lately, and you're starting to get some better swings, and then you can get him at 3-2. You can get something you can handle. Get a hitter at the middle of the plate, which has been getting hit very hard lately. So, that was... he would be the first to tell you today, if he jumped on this headset and started talking to you guys from Miami, yeah, I should have challenged straight up, and that's my bad. But that was a tough one.
Kind of a weird question, but sticking with that idea of the offense being lifeless, I do see people going, oh, we need to look at the hitting staff and the coaches, and I always think like, well, I don't know. I mean, this team was 3rd in home runs last year, and like, I tend to think that execution or the assembling of a roster that you've made factors into it a little bit more than a coaching staff, which don't vary greatly organization to organization. So what things can lead to a lifeless offense? Like what kind of mental things or mistakes?
Well, Stacy, a great question. And, anytime, and it's this time of year too, we saw, the Mets part ways with their manager who everyone seemed to love. You also had, obviously, the Angels, Perry Manassian, their GM, part ways with him. It's around that time of year. Now, if you have a situation where if it's a staff member, whether it be a front office, whether it be a manager or a coach or whatever, it's someone outside of the players, well, okay, what do you think? So, hypothetically, you do that, and what someone else is going to come in mid-season and say, oh, hey, look, these are these tweaks we need to make, right, or this is my opinion, this is what I'm saying. No, it doesn't change anything. It comes down to the players. And again, like I said with Cole Young, the players will be the first to tell you, because every time I've had, 3 managers be fired mid-season and a GM in my career, which is ridiculous. And the first thing you do as a player, you go look at yourself in the mirror and say, that's on me. Everyone says that. There's rarely been a situation where a manager gets, let go and everyone's in the clubhouse saying, oh, yeah, that was a good move. It's not, because it's on the players, straight up. Not to mention, too, look, you're at that position now, and just I've been here before. You're on this road trip all the way out on the East Coast, and you got some family here. You got the break's coming up, and as a player, you kind of compartmentalize the first half and the second half. And I used to always get here, and it's not a good thing, but you get to this point where you're on that last road trip. You're like, okay, the break's coming up. I need to press the reset button, or I've had a really good first half. I need to take a breather and press the reset button and have that sprint down, for the next couple of months. And in saying that, at this time of year, when you are in a situation where you've dealt with a bunch of injuries, and as a player, Randy Rosarena gets drilled in the elbow and he was in some serious pain. You got Dom Canzone with a hamstring situation. You got all these other little niggly injuries, not to mention the fact that you've lost basically your heart and soul, Cal Raleigh, for a lot of the year, and he comes back and he's struggling. It's been a grind of a first half. Let's get real. So you're at that place now. It's like, man, all right, we're looking at this break, right? And I'm not speaking for them at all, but I'm speaking for guys who have been there before, especially even if you get at the end of the road trip. But you get to this point in the season. You know that break's coming up. You just need a day or two, man, because it is an absolute grind. It is every day, as you guys understand, because you watch this team and cover this team every day. It's grind for you guys. I mean, as a player, it's even more that you're under stress every single day. And so you get to this point in the season where you're like, okay, I'm just days away where I can step away for a moment, just kind of like what Julio did last year, and I can press that reset button or just have a breather and come back out and just get on that sprint for the second half. And so I think that you put all that together, and the whole idea behind, it's a staff member issue, absolutely not, because when I'm in that dugout a ton, and knowing what Kevin Seitzer, talk about the hitting, Kevin Seitzer and Bobby Maguian, is the relationship they have is more important than any kind of little magic pill they can give you to help you swing or to make you drive a ball to right center field to drive a run in. Like that's just the way it goes. And there's just so many elements and so many things that go into the day-to-day with that relationship from coach to player and vice versa, that it's the whole, like I said, back to what I initially said, the whole idea of like, someone else is going to come in and no, right. It never gets fixed. And by the way, too, just last thing on that too, like for example, the Phillies, talking to some people over in that organization, it's like they, made a change with their manager, and they did that in where you have enough leeway where you can turn things around. And so it's just fun. It just cracks me up when people think that is going to be a solution for a second half. It makes no sense at all.
He is Mariners analyst Ryan Rowland-Smith. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
Taking a look around the NFL next.
Congratulations, Randy Arozarena, 2026 All-Star.
It is grand salami time! Randy Arozarena clears the bases.
It's kind of helped them hang in there throughout this year.
He likes being on the big stage.
It is gone! Randy Arozarena strikes again. Welcome to Randyland.
From the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
When an emergency happens, be the first to know. Alert Seattle helps you stay safer and connected. This free service includes alerts about severe weather, safety, health, utility disruptions, major traffic accidents, and more. If you live or work in Seattle, Alert Seattle is the city's official emergency alert system. Sign up for text, email, or phone alerts during emergencies near your home, work, school, and more. Text Seattle to 67283. AlertSeattle.gov to learn more and sign up.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with the design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best? Why Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Progressive presents the Museum of You. We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Ichiro is back, and he's trading base hits for long balls. 50 season celebration weekend kicks off with the all-new Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. On Friday, August 7th, after the team takes on the Rays, see Ichiro step up to the plate against other former Mariner sluggers. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies of all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL. We're going to start in the NFC West. Everyone's already crowning the Rams going into 2026. Congratulations on your Super Bowl. But what's a reason for concern with them? Is there one? We haven't heard many, but NFL Network's Manti Te'o has one.
My only concern is this. Can they be consistent? That is one thing last year that I saw was the consistency. You saw a Rams team that would just blow out a team one week, and then they go against Carolina, and Matthew Stafford throws for 2 picks, a pick 6, and all of that stuff. And then we go back to the loss for the San Francisco 49ers across the street, where you had Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne playing for the 49ers. And this is no slump at them. It's just it's not Brock Purdy and all the receivers that they have over there. The other thing is this. They have 7 primetime games next year, okay? They could have 8. There has been no team in the history of the NFL that has had more than 7 primetime games. Their Week 18 game against the Seattle Seahawks, is TBD.
Could be flexed.
It could be flexed. If that gets flexed, they now have 8. Can they survive that spotlight? Because they, and you know this, Seth, as well, when those lights are the brightest, sometimes some guys operate a little differently underneath the lights.
I think they're fine underneath the spotlight, but I do think his first point's fair, Bump.
Yeah. You won 12 games last year? How many games to lose? Let me see. I'm looking at the schedule. 1, 2, 3,
I think they won 12,
4, 5.
right?
Yeah, so they won 12 and 5.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. Losses against losses against Philly. I forget how good Philly was in week 3.
Yeah, there was a minute there we were like, look at him go.
Yeah.
Lost fly, Eagles, fly.
San Fran in OT. Lost to Carolina. Lost to Seattle. They have 2 bad losses, I think. I think Carolina and Atlanta are their 2 bad losses. And the Rams have entered a place to me to where they can't just hit the gas when they want to, but they're good enough to not panic. Sorry, bad loss, we're going to be able to bounce back. But you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. I'm not mad at him saying being consistent, but I think winning 12 games, you're pretty dang good. And you're probably competing for your division and making a push in the playoffs. So we'll see. I'm glad he's talking about them being consistent and not the Seahawks.
I know. You know what I think might be giving people pause when it comes to trying to think of reasons to doubt the Rams? Yes, it comes back to Myles Garrett, but like if you look at those 2 losses that you mentioned against Atlanta and against the Panthers, they also gave up 30 in a win against the Panthers, but like they were nearly knocked out of the wild card round of the playoffs to the Panthers once again, and the Panthers backed into the playoffs by virtue of Atlanta winning. Like it was going to be the Bucs. I think that a lot of people would typically point to a Rams defense that gave up way too many points in the second half and especially the final third of the season. And the assumption is that Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie changes that, but like we don't know what that looks like. Yeah. So I think that there is a fair question about the Rams defensively heading into the season, and we're just assuming, maybe fairly, but like assuming that like, oh, that won't happen. That simply won't happen. And it's like, well, Trent McDuffie hasn't played with you before. Like, Myles Garrett's an absolute game wrecker, but, like, we don't know what this version of the Rams is like. You did give up 30, like, 5 times in the final third.
Devil's advocate.
Sure, yeah.
Myles Garrett with the Seahawks, McDuffie with the Seahawks, Watson with the Seahawks.
Oh.
You'd be mad if anyone ever doubted anything this defense is doing.
They're winning 17 games. At an 18th game, they're going to win it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we always got to wait and see, though. It looks good on paper, but, yeah, let's see what they can do.
Some good news about second-year Jag Travis Hunter. NFL Network's Cameron Wolf says he's close to getting a clean bill of health.
Talking to people there down in Jacksonville, he's running over 20 miles per hour, which was faster than he ran before that knee injury. He's cutting. He's in great shape. He should be full go for training camp, and he is still going to play both sides of the ball. The cool thing for Travis Hunter and the Jags is now they can unleash him as a starter on defense, and the goal is to eventually have him play nearly all the snaps on defense in a particular game, and they think he can be elite on that side of the ball. I had one coach with the Jaguars tell me if he can continue to develop and show what he started to show last year, you guys, the media, are going to be talking about him as a top 10 cornerback this time next year.
Top 10 cornerback for Travis Hunter. I mean, we knew that he'd be special, but just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
I always thought the defensive side of the ball is where he should be anyway, because he's one of the most athletic human beings walking this earth. You usually put those guys on defense, let them fly around and use that athleticism, have that range that he has, and then sprinkle them in on offense. You treat them just like Dion. This 50-50, it ain't going to work that way. Let them shine on defense, sprinkle them on offense.
Kevin O'Connell stopped by the Dan Patrick Show and shared what the Vikings are hoping to get out of their quarterback competition.
Here's what I would say. 2 players, and really the goal going into this offseason was to elevate the quarterback position, because when we have a certain standard of play that we feel like we have multiple guys in that room that are capable of achieving that standard, the Minnesota Vikings win football games. And so the best way to achieve that is having a daily attempt to have guys push each other and not just always need the outside noise or not always need, what the narratives may be. Let's roll the ball out there and let's try to, help the Minnesota Vikings get better. Kyler has come in and done a great job. JJ, I think, has benefited from it. He had a really good spring. Carson Wentz is this veteran quarterback in the room that, as a guy who's played 7 or 8 quarterbacks in 4 years, the 2 years we had our starter play the whole season, we won 13 and 14 games. So we want to try to get back to the standard of having the quarterback position be a driving force behind us winning by doing their job.
Who do you think wins out there?
Mr. Murray.
And what's your level of confidence, 1 to 10?
8. I think,
wow, JJ,
say what you want about Murray. He's been a pro in this league. He has had more success in this league. I think he will be able to inspire his teammates with his presence, not literally with his leadership. I think that Justin Jefferson is going to respect him. Addison's going to respect him. It's almost like they're fed up with JJ a little bit. It feels like I saw a press conference with Justin Jefferson. It felt like he didn't believe in JJ. So now you got this new shiny toy. I don't think the Vikings are going to be Super Bowl contenders, but they'll make some games interesting.
Mike Macdonald was also a guest on the Dan Patrick Show and was asked whether he ever sought out advice ahead of the Super Bowl. He said yes, but played coy about who it was.
Who did you seek advice from going into the Super Bowl that might surprise me?
Well, I wouldn't have surprised. I called John Harbaugh and I talked. He was great. Probably can't mention one guy that really helped us out that had some conflict of interest.
Can we guess?
Sure. I don't know if I'm going to tell you, but go ahead.
Bill Belichick.
I'm not that cool.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He wouldn't. No. You wouldn't have a phone call.
I've had a beer with Coach Belichick, and that was a pretty cool. That was a pretty cool day.
Okay.
But.
Who else would we guess? Kyle Shanahan.
No, Kyle. No.
What, like Matt Patricia? I totally thought Bill Belichick when he was hinting at it.
I think it's Tom Brady.
Oh, the Michigan connection.
And close to the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, he's with the Raiders now, but definitely familiar with how things operate.
And Tom going
automatically thought Bill.
Yeah, Bill or Tom.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. And together we want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open now until tomorrow, July 10th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at WOISeattle.org before the deadline. That's not all, Mike Macdonald said during that sit-down with Dan Patrick. We'll tell you the rest next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Seattle summers are sneaky, so when the heat wave hits, it hits like I used to. Dave Wyman here. Fast Home Services has you covered with an AC tune-up for just $59.99. First-time customers get the $99 diagnostic for free. Heating and cooling done right by the local team since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
The best safety feature on any machine is a well-trained operator. With online, hands-on, in-class, and blended options, Levitt Training helps your team stay safe, certified, and confident on the job. Book your training today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
There's always something new at LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma. Explore the all-new British Motorcycle Exhibition and the thrilling American Supercar Showcase. Fuel up at the brand-new cafe, then buckle up on the most advanced racing simulators anywhere. Plus exciting events in July. First Responders Appreciation Day on the 11th. Drive-in movie night on the 24th. Tacoma Cars and Coffee with a Hot Wheels track on the 25th. And cruise in on the 30th. Bring the family and see what's new. AmericasCarMuseum.org.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Johnsons always talk about an orientation meeting. Their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their second of 3 against the Marlins yesterday in a 2-0 loss, their 8th time being shut out this season. Bryce Miller gets the start in the series finale today as Seattle looks to avoid a sweep. First pitch at 3:40, pregame show at 2:30 on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. When we took a look around the NFL to wrap up our noon hour, we played you one cut of Mike Macdonald on with Dan Patrick, talking about who he called for advice ahead of the Super Bowl. He didn't end up telling us, other than to say or hint that it wasn't Bill Belichick. When Dan guessed Bill, he said, I'm not that cool. I've had a beer with him before. But so Curtis guessed Brady. I thought, well, like, is it Matt Patricia? But Matt Patricia's still very much. It wouldn't be.
I would not call Matt Patricia.
No?
I would only call Matt Patricia if I was needing a pencil recommendation.
I was just trying to think of, like, who could it possibly be? It's not Bill. I think Brady's a pretty good guess. Anyways, that's not all they talked about. There was a lot more from that sit down, so we'll start here. Whether or not he's watched the Super Bowl in full, the TV copy.
And you're not going to believe this. I've watched it once on tape during the draft process, and we still haven't watched the TV copy. So I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me or whatever, but we haven't. So it's
Are you worried there's a different ending here?
There is like a, I don't know, there's like a just no pull to do it yet. I think we'll do it before camp starts, but I'm interested to watch the commercials. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but it's like to watch like how the flow of the game with commercials, and that'll be cool.
Maybe he's so intent about like looking forward that it's like, well, why would I look and reminisce on this on the TV copy? I need to keep my eyes on 2026. I don't know.
Yeah, he said he would watch the TV copy though.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I think, like my process for watching games, granted I didn't coach in no Super Bowl, I watch the TV copy first because that's what I have access to first, and then I watch all 22. So you get kind of both. I think that's interesting that he would watch TV copy, though, because he gets all 22 right now. I got to wait like hours after the game.
Well, and look, eventually he's going to have to do some kind of deep dive because their week one opponent is the opponent in the Super Bowl, the New England Patriots.
Well, it's going to be tricky because we start with the Patriots, so I'm a psycho data guy where I need numbers and tendencies and, like what's the data telling me all the time? So now there's no data. So it's, what's going to be their counter to what we did? How do we kind of take the next, evolution of what we did and like where we at scheme wise? So it's tricky. Those first games of the year are tricky when it comes to tendencies and how you call games, how you build game plan.
I'm really curious to watch that game. I did not think that it would be a Super Bowl rematch. We knew, obviously, New England would be on the schedule, but it's interesting to look at a rematch considering the last time out, New England just seemed fully unprepared for Seattle's defense.
I would say that you have the same D coordinator. You have the same O coordinator. They're not just going to change completely who they are, but they do have a weapon that will allow them to push the ball down the field a bit more. The first few weeks are always a guessing game. This is what I think they are. This is who they've been. But what additions have they made? What subtractions aren't there anymore? And it's a guessing. It's a fill out. Like the first few series are always throwing jabs and trying to fill out. Are they going to do what we think they're going to do and come out with stuff that we think they're going to come out in? That's why I love the week one. That's why when USB Paraguay 4-1, I was like, week one football, fellas. Week one.
Asked about his feeling on analytics.
It always seemed that it was just made sense. It's like, why wouldn't we use the best information out there? You don't have to do it, but why would you be scared about things that are going to possibly help you? So why wouldn't you just lean into it?
He implements it into his decision making.
Like you're just starting with data, and then to me, it's like, well, what's the best decision for the team? Is that it? Is that where the gut goes? Am I going off my gut here? Is it? How's the game going? But like people that fight it, I just don't understand. Like, just relax. Why are you fighting? You don't have to do what the numbers say.
But it's very interesting to hear. He did say, like, look, we don't use it to make every single decision, but like, why not use it as a starting point for those conversations?
Yeah.
That's information that's valuable to
Exactly.
you.
Why not use the data to some extent? You don't let the data control what you're seeing and how you react to stuff. You let the data kind of set a foundation. We're going to start here, but we always have to be ready to adjust and pivot and make some decisions. That's football. That's why I love football so much is no other game adjusts more than football. Football, you slide a line this way. You play this coverage. You bluff here. You show this. Oh, they're doing something different. Okay, let's look at the iPad and figure it out. Remember what we did in week 3? We're going to come back to that and use that. There's just so much. The coaching really matters in football more than any other sport.
I think that when it comes to analytics, there's a pushback, and it's been based on the idea of ignoring gut feelings. And like maybe there are, I don't know that there are coaches that ignore gut feelings, but I think there are people that go like, why wouldn't you trust a player in this moment? Or why wouldn't you, play with heart or play based on feel here? I don't know that Mike Macdonald seems like someone who ignores those things.
No, it's and when you play off your gut, there's always going to be some coach. I'm sure there's some coach that has his ear, probably AD over there with the Hawks, that low-key challenges his gut feeling at times. Well, this is what they did last week. Well, you know what? Or this blitz typically doesn't work against this formation because of this. And sometimes you look at your players and say, well, they're going to make me right.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to out-execute, even if their integrity is better and better suited to handle whatever we're throwing at them here. That's why humans play the game and not robots.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know what analytics they favor over others. It has felt as though Mike Macdonald's era of Seahawks football has been a bit more aggressive, let's say on fourth down, going forward in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about field goal stuff or looking into specifics there, but like it's felt as though they have been a little more aggressive in the last 2 years than they were in, let's say, the 5 prior to that.
You know what's crazy, too, is that they don't blitz that often either. At one point of the season, they were blitzing like 13% of the time, like bottom 3 in the league. It's just when they do, the timing of it is perfect. And I think that's probably going off of your gut feeling, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they haven't seen this in 30 plays. Let's go get them with it right here. There's a perfect mix between data that you have on a piece of paper and the data that you collect from your players and your coaches in the moment, and not relying on what you've seen on film last week.
Here's a bit more from Mike Macdonald about the Super Bowl.
I think one of the biggest themes of last year that we changed from year 1 to year 2 was like we need to stick to who we are outside the circumstance, but the Super Bowl is different, so you do have to like concede that the process is different throughout the Super Bowl, like the media and you know, there's the things like halftime and pregame and stuff like that. But that's the way we framed it to our team, and frankly, for me, for a guy that hasn't been to the Super Bowl, it simplified it. You know, it simplified things. It took pressure off you of that you had to do everything right. Yeah. You know, and you got to be perfect all week. It's like, no, just relax, take a deep breath. Let's go be us. Different setting, but let's just go be us and not worry about all the extra stuff.
They seem to really embrace being in the moment with stuff. Mike Macdonald just seems to really have them fully bought in, not only into his system and how he likes to play, but just like into an approach and a philosophy game to game. That must be so hard to do.
Not if you're genuine, not if your philosophy produces, not if you get guys to see and understand it in a way that that makes sense to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that all comes down to communication, right? Communicating who you are, what you want to be, and then implementing that into your everyday. And I think that's the biggest thing that Mike Macdonald and his squad does. And it's not just Mike, too. It's his coaching staff as well. Like, Mike's the head for sure, but everyone's got to be on the same page. So it is tough for some, I would say that. Some, Patricia, ain't gonna work for Patricia. Gannon, didn't work for Gannon.
You have fire in your gut?
Hey,
who took the bus?
Most coaches fail in this league. Most of them fail. So when you get a guy like Mike, you got to hold on to him.
I'm just waiting for like one player in the back to be. I actually did take the bus here. It's car troubles this morning, Coach. It's really tough. I think it's interesting. Earlier, to kind of tie it back into another interview we heard earlier, we played some sound from Bucky Brooks, who was on with Brock and Solak, great get by them, and explained his reasoning for picking the Seahawks to be 7-10. And we focused a lot at the time, this was earlier in the show, on what Bucky had to say about, like, I have questions about the running back room, and, JSN accounted for 44% of the offense. Like, that's so much. But a little bit of that interview was also him wondering what happens if it falls apart. Like, how's the team going to respond? And I don't know, but, like, hearing Mike Macdonald here and hearing all the players that you and I and Wyman spoke with during the huddle, this doesn't feel like a team that's mentally and emotionally ready to fall apart when things get tough. They played horribly against Tampa Bay, bounced back and got after it over their next several opponents with the same approach. They didn't question their approach.
Who was that we're talking to? He said after the game, it was Jay Love. He said after that game, he knew they were real. I'm like, really, after a loss? And that says a lot, because that means that a loss didn't make you question your mission and how you're going about it and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The loss almost brought you closer together and say, all right, we were that close and we probably didn't play our best game. Imagine what could happen when we cross all of our T's and dot all of our I's. I think that's powerful. That's more powerful than anything. When you're winning ball games, it's easy to believe. It's when you're losing them or lose one is where people start to want to jump ship.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think it's fair for Bucky or anyone else to go, well, how's our new offensive coordinator going to do? Or like, I really liked Ken Walker. I thought he was a big key to that. But like the criticism or question I don't get is, can this team hang in there? Do they believe in themselves? Are they going to start pointing fingers when they lose? They've showed no sign of that. And that's included a game, and need I highlight this, where your quarterback had 4 turnovers, and then your middle linebacker told reporters and anyone watching afterwards, if you got a problem with Sam Darnold, come see me. Like, that was immediately after the game. That was not after a team meeting where it's like, hey, we got to have each other's backs, guys. That was the immediate reaction from one of your team leaders to say, and guess what? I still think Sam Darnold's phenomenal. That's a close team. That is a team that doesn't look ready to fold if they run into trouble here to start the season, which I don't think they will.
No, it's a close team, and it's I mean, they wouldn't have Sam's back like that if he weren't doing it Monday through Friday. Like, if he wasn't showing up and executing and instilling that belief in him. And then you have your leaders coming out and support him that way. It's manufactured. You don't just put 90 guys together and say, all right, we're a team. And you put 90 together, you cut 20, you cut another 5. But while you're going through that process, you are reiterating the why, and guys are buying into that. And then you're going out and performing at a high level against each other, or maybe against joint practice. There was another guy who said after a joint practice they knew. I think it was Nicky Mawari, who said after the joint practice with the Titans, he was like, yeah, okay, I knew. So along the journey, like, you got different guys really buying in at different times. So it's something that's done with purpose. It doesn't happen on accident, but it all starts with leadership.
Yeah. Someone said someone should tell Dan and DePoto about data and to be more like Mike. I feel like the critique that the Mariners have faced is that they rely too much on data, though. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I find the marriage between analytics and when you kind of go with feel to be really fascinating, because I think a personality type that's really, really, really smart and also super authentic and good with people, it's also kind of a rare personality.
Yeah.
So sounds like the Seahawks got lucky with that one and Mike Macdonald. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, now 2 days in a row. You, a massive Tom Brady fan. No, I'm just kidding, but you've got Brady on your mind again. Why is he right?
He's right again. Dang it, Thomas, you're right again. I read an article on Pro Football Talk, and I think it's on the Travis Kelce podcast, and he's talking about the mentality of receivers and why they're divas, and they're like the real housewives of whatever, insert whatever city. What's your favorite, Utah? New Jersey?
Salt Lake City. Oh, wow. Rhode Island was great for a debut season. Salt Lake City,
I say which one's
really
your
strong
favorite?
right now.
Probably
Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Yeah, shocking, but they're really campy.
Really campy?
Yeah, like it's absurd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Campy. That's a new one for me. And I couldn't agree with him more. He said, look, your receivers are going to have the biggest attitudes. They're going to be emotional, at least some of them, especially the number 1 receivers, when 3 weeks in a row they get 11 targets, 2 weeks they get 3 targets. And he also says that, talks about their diva behavior, but also understands that he knows a lot goes to getting the receiver the ball. Ball is snap, line has to protect, running back protects, quarterback reads the defense, makes a throw, and then finally he's able to do his job. So there are 60 plays, 65 plays in a game when it comes to offense, and maybe we'll call up 35 pass plays. So for 35 routes, he's running down the field doing something, trying to get open, and he's not getting the football. So he says, I understand why they would be frustrated, but they also have to understand if you're the number 1, you're going to catch 100 footballs this year. So it's his job to reel them back in. He says, I can't have my receiver be happy when things are great and sad when things are down. He just has to understand that this is the process. And I'm reading the article. I'm nodding my head. Once again, Thomas Brady hits a nail on the head.
God, you can't have that strong jawline and be smart about football and have a really good feel for the game. It's frustrating. Stop it. It's too much. It's way too much. Second down. Congratulations to Big Cat Leonard Williams coming in at number 1 on interior D linemen from Jeremy Fowler's rankings. Who do you think is going to be on the list along with him next year?
It almost sounds like you're gonna do like a Rob Staten go D-lineman or something like that. You know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit. I think we should do that.
You know, the 1 o'clock hour, I just start smashing a lot of words together.
It's gonna be our guy, Byron Murphy. I didn't realize he had just as many sacks as Leonard Williams this year too. Chinna had 7, Leo had 7, Murphy had 7, D-Law had 6. He was on the honorable mention list when it comes to best interior defensive lineman, but he's a guy who affects the game. I'm looking at his numbers. They are really similar. 33 tackles to 22, Byron. 7 sacks apiece. 45 sack yards. 9 TFLs for Leo, 7 for Byron. 1 pass defended for Leo, none for Byron. But he's going to be next up. This is going to be the best duo in the league when it comes to defensive linemen, and we didn't even sprinkle in Jay Reed yet, the OG over there. But no, I think he gets to learn from this guy too. It's going to be his third season with him, and he gets to learn from Leo. And these guys do all the dirty work. They control the game. They keep the LBs clean. They will put pressure on the quarterback and allows the secondary to work and jump on mistakes that are made out there. There's no doubt in my mind he should have been a Pro Bowler this year, Byron Murphy. He will be next year. He'll be on this list, top 10 for sure.
He's someone that's not talked about enough nationally, I don't think, because a lot of people look at, let's say, what DeMarcus Lawrence meant to this team last year in his first year with them, but as an older player. Big Cat as a great but also slightly older player, and they go, oh, Seattle's in kind of a window, which, like, yes, sure. Every team's in some form of a window or another, but not a lot of attention paid to the young players who have a chance to get even better from last season. Byron Murphy, definitely one of them. Third down. What Pac-12 matchups are you looking forward to?
All right, well, first I'm looking at Fresno and USC. That's going to really jump the season off. Then obviously I'm looking at the good old Apple Cup in September like it's always been played. And now I'm looking at like just the out of conference type stuff. And you got San Diego State's going to play UCLA. Washington State's going to play University of Arizona. I think this is a great inaugural season of the new Pac-12 because you're still sprinkling in some old names. And when we look at Oregon State versus Montana, you cannot lose that game, boys. You cannot lose that game. So I like the way the schedule is set up because you get a little bit of everything. You got Incarnate War. I mean, we're going from Big 12 to Big 10 to whatever conference Incarnate War plays in. And it's I think it's good for the conference. It's good for football. And I hope one team just runs away with it. Hopefully it's the Cougs. Go Cougs. And we get consideration for a CFP, some team.
I'll tell you what, if it is the Cougs, you're going to be hearing the action right here on Seattle Sports. 7:10 a.m. in the Seattle Sports app.
I know that's right.
I know that's right. Fourth down. Bucky Brooks is concerned about the Seahawks offense, but you're not. Why not?
I'm not concerned. And Bucky said that, you know, he pointed out what Solak pointed out is that JSN was such a big part of your offense. Like, what are you going to do? And that's not the way I look at it. I think look at it like JSN was such a big part of your offense that he's going to be the focal point and other guys are going to be able to eat. And you're still going to be able to get him the football. The only concern I do have is I'm looking at Fleury and thinking, all right, when it's third and whatever, what are you going to do? Never been there before. But he has the help of Sam Darnold. He has the help of Cooper Kupp, who low-key is a coach out there. You remember the conversations we had with him last year. I think this offensive line is going to be better. The one question mark I do have is the run game. What's Jadarian going to look like? But I think he's going to be good. I respect what he said, and I think that his concerns are valid. But I also look at it from a different angle and think to myself that because Jason gets all this attention, everyone else is going to get to eat. And once you start spreading that football around, 3 touches there, 2 touches there, 20 by the running back, defenses aren't going to know what to do and how to defend. And I think Sam Darnold has a confidence about him that he's never had before. Sam hasn't been this confident probably since he was in high school, and he was just darts everywhere. The game is easy to him. It's not easy in the NFL, but I think he's in a good spot, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that good stuff. So kind of concerned a little bit about the experience of Fleury, but with all that talent and the help he's going to have in the coaching staff, with the coaching staff, I think he'll be all right.
What are your expectations for Jadarian? Because the run game is obviously going to be central to like what they're able to do offensively, but I feel like there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of nerves. It's a rookie and not a rookie that was taken 3rd overall like Jeremiah, but 32nd overall at Seattle. Still someone that they needed, someone we were happy to see go there. But with so many question marks in this running back room, what are the chances he can answer quite a few of them?
I think the chances are high. I think running back is a natural position. We've been doing that since recess. We've been doing that. Our ancestors probably had a former football one at some point. Go get them, tackle them, bring them down. Like, this is what we do. And there are only so many run plays you have in an offense. And if you have a running back with good instincts, which I think Jadarian has, you have the opportunity to have success right now. How much success depends on health, play calling, the identity of your team. But when you can just hand the football off and tell somebody to go, I think you got a chance. And
also great news bringing back so much of the offensive line. Speaking of, you mentioned Byron is having a chance to break that list. What about someone like Gray Zabel having a chance to, can he have a Pro Bowl season? Room for growth there, too. Obviously, that helps someone like Jadarian a ton. All right, get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it now, 866-979-3776. Coming up next, Hype Train.
Those in the know that you can't miss Blue 88 with Brock Heward every morning at 7:45 on Brock and Salk.
The offensive coaching staff, how are they unique?
A tremendous diversity of skill sets and backgrounds. Fleury in particular, 17 years on the defensive side of the ball.
We're not saying you'll get dumber if you're not listening, but you ain't getting any smarter if you miss it. Get Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Every job's different, so why not your equipment plan? Rent it when you need it. Buy it when you're ready. Levitt Machinery makes it easy to get to work. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, July 10th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package,
T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission. This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, text it now. 866-979-3776. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Mariners wrap up a series against the Marlins today, looking to avoid a sweep, and that's your first hype line. The hype train. The Mariners get aboard the hype line. Mariners avoid a sweep. That is your first train. Are you boarding?
I just had an idea. City of Seattle.
Oh.
We should do light rail. Get it sponsored by the city.
Yeah.
And turn this segment to light rail.
Let's contact sales right now.
Let's do it.
Sound Transit.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know the number.
And it's just it's just me being 3 minutes late to the segment. Oh, sorry. I'm here. Do you have your ticket?
All right, so what was it? I'm sorry.
Mariners avoid a sweep.
See, man, I put it out there. I was like, look, we're going to go 4-2 in this thing. And it ain't looking good. Vibes are down.
I mean,
Naylor's not doing.
Well, you still can go 4-2 on this
I know, but I'm just saying they lost 2 in a row. I don't think they're going to win 4 in a row now.
I mean, not with that attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can't. You already.
Can I have my opinion about what we doing here? What we doing here? Nah. They're getting swept. I ain't on that thing.
Wow.
They're getting swept. I have no belief right now. They are getting swept.
That's a Matt Nelson take. Yeah. Wow.
That's something Matt would say.
They're getting swept, man.
Do I have to board the train now? This feels
weird. I don't know. You'll go third, Curtis. Bump is not boarding the train. He said Mariners are about to get swept today.
I'll catch the next one.
Wow.
Dang.
Curtis?
Yeah, they're avoiding a sweep for sure today. Bryce Miller has been
boarding the train.
Yeah, we're boarding this train. Bryce Miller's actually been
Bub's crazy
outstanding
for that one.
this year. You crazy for that one. But, Bryce Miller's going to go 7 shutty again.
Yeah.
And the Mariners are going to win 1-0.
Matt. Run walked in again. Matt, Mariners avoid a sweep.
Gotcha.
Bump is not boarding because he thinks they're swept. Curtis is boarding. He thinks Bryce Miller goes 7 today, 7 shutty. Are you boarding?
I really don't know what to do here.
I know.
Normally, I'm the pessimistic jerk on the show.
That's
There
true.
can't be two of us, Bump.
Hey, well, you know what? Switch it up today, brother.
You have a different role. Or you can stay with Bump at the station.
I guess I'll be cheery and say they avoid a sweep.
But
that feels weird.
Do you mean it?
No, I'm just doing it because I don't know what to do anymore.
You're lying.
I'm in an existential crisis.
Be true to yourself. Do you think the Mariners lose today?
Oh, they're going to lose bad.
Okay, so just
I'm running
Curtis
part of the
supports
game?
you. You're not on the train.
I'm
You're
not
not
on
on
the
the
train.
train.
Me
You're
and
not on
Bumper
the
chilling
train.
at the station.
Be honest.
Really chilling. We read books.
Do think they avoid a sweep today. I
You don't
am
think
boarding
that.
the train. Yes, I do.
You don't think that?
Yes, I do.
Tell them what you told me off air.
Wow.
I didn't say anything off air.
Tell me off air.
What did I say?
You didn't say nothing.
What did I
You
say?
didn't say nothing. I was
No,
messing
now
with
the people think I said something.
No, she didn't. I was just trying to, put some pressure.
No, I did think that 4-2 for this road trip was very optimistic.
Yeah, I tried to be, but they stole the joy.
I expected a losing road
quick.
trip, but I was hoping to avoid a sweep by the Marlins. So
Stole that joy.
sorry. Next up, the Seahawks finished 7-10. Bump, are you boarding this train?
Absolutely not. Not boarding this train. What'd I say? You start at 10. You start at 10 wins, and then you adjust off of that. They're going to get at least 10. Bucky, all love. Come back on the show one day, but I can't ride with you.
Yeah, it is a crazy prediction to go from winning a Super Bowl to not even giving them 10 as a baseline. Like, as a baseline, they're a wild card. Curtis, Seahawks finish 7-10. Bump not boarding. Are you?
I don't know what world Bucky Brooks is living in with that kind of projection. I mean, you can chalk up 2 guaranteed wins with the Cardinals, which means the Seahawks would only have 5 wins left on their schedule after that.
That's crazy.
That's insane. No. I would have more expected that prediction last year.
Yeah.
Coming off of all the offseason moves that the Seahawks have made. But these are the defending Super Bowl champions. They're not going 7-10. Miss me with that.
The Seahawks, you're right. The 2 to the Cardinals. You've got the
Raiders.
The Raiders. You're telling me that they're okay. So let's say they lose to the
Panthers.
Raiders. So you're assuming that maybe the Giants get them. Let's say they
You
lose
said
to the
assume
Panthers.
they lose to the Raiders.
I'm assuming beat the Raiders. I'm
Oh.
assuming the Raiders lose. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's a bad team is what I'm saying. But like Curtis is right. You chalk up 2 graciously against the Cardinals, and then it's like you're telling me at that point you're just assuming that almost every team, that the Broncos are going to get them, the 49ers are going to get them twice, the Chiefs are going to get them, the Bears are going to get them, the Giants are going to get them, the Cowboys. Like, I think the schedule is clearly harder this year.
Yeah, it's harder.
But I'm sorry, I have more questions about this year's Giants than I do this year's Seahawks. I have more questions about this year's Cowboys than I do this year's Seahawks. Every single opponent the Seahawks face, I have more questions about that team than I do Seattle, barring the Rams. So I'm obviously not boarding this one. Next up, Bump's phone withdrawal is causing him to be pessimistic and depressed.
Depressed? No, I'm actually good. Less stress. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you?
Why are you looking at me like that? Because I said the Mariners are going to get
Do you
swept
actually feel more at peace without your phone?
at times.
Do you feel like you're getting more stuff done?
That's a good question.
No, man, I do the same stuff every day.
Just on your iPad instead.
Yeah, it's on the iPad
It's just
now.
a big phone.
Do you carry your iPad around and take pictures with it like tourists do?
I should. I'm actually going to do that today.
You should hold it up to your face like you're talking on the phone.
Yeah, I do. I have used Instagram, to call people.
Yeah.
The desktop version of Instagram?
Have you played The Sims much? I used to do that all the time on the computer.
No, I've never done that.
Okay. This is a real hype train. Bump's phone withdrawal is causing him to be pessimistic and depressed. Curtis.
Yeah, we're boarding that train.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should have seen him on Monday. That was like, he needed his fix.
That was the worst day, though. Monday was the worst
See,
day.
now you're used to it. Now you're the team. You're the season's end Tennessee Titans where they're like, I don't even care anymore.
You know how
These
you get
losses
those
can't hurt me.
screen time notifications at the end of the week? Yours is going to be the best it's ever been.
Wow, yeah. It's
Yeah.
going to literally be zero.
I say congratulations.
Yeah.
You changed your
I'm going to
life.
say you've cured your phone addiction. Bump's phone withdrawal is causing him to be pessimistic and depressed. He did say The Mariners will be swept.
They're getting swept, boy.
He sounds like he's laughing about
They're
it.
getting swept.
Did you see this version of Bump? Matt, are you boarding?
I'm boarding. Bump, thumbs up, man. I'm worried about you. You're turning into me, and that's not a place you want to be at.
Next hype train. Back to sports.
That's a dark place.
Back to sports for this one. We've been talking all week long, but including earlier today, about what a bunch of former U.S. men's and women's soccer stars have to say about Christian Pulisic's controversial post-match comment about looking forward to rest, and just about his approach to media, approach to the team. People being pretty critical. But are we? We're being too hard on Christian Pulisic. All of us. That's the next hype train. We're being too hard on Christian Pulisic. We need to lay off.
We go hard, the media, on any athlete who is a superstar, captain, leader, or whatnot. You have strong opinions because being in that position is a privilege, and you get paid or expected to do your job, which has come through clutch. He didn't do diddly squat this World Cup. He did create one chance against Paraguay. But other than that, no. I think that this generation is just softer than baby poop in a diaper. And criticism, people take criticism and don't know how to deal with it anymore. Yet, Stacy and I sit here and get blasted on the text lines every single day. And you don't see us talking about, I just can't wait to go on break. No, we show up every day.
Every day.
We give you our opinions.
Our opinions.
And you guys shoot them down.
You guys are both gone tomorrow.
And it's all, we are gone tomorrow.
That's beside the point. That's beside the point.
It's me and B-Wall tomorrow.
I can't wait to rest, Curtis. Can't wait to rest.
I'm just excited to get a day off. I'm ready to have a vacation. I could really use this rest.
But we'll be back.
But we'll be back.
We'll be
That's
back.
right.
We'll be back. So, nah, he's good.
We're being too hard on Christian Pulisic. Curtis.
No way. No chance. Christian Pulisic, I mean, let's toughen up, okay? We got that audio of the locker room at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a very accurate representation of what happened.
Sports, I think.
What the hell's wrong with you? Put your gear on. I said put your gear on.
The doc told me I can't play.
Yeah, I know. You got a bad bruise. You know what? Put your street clothes on, because I got no time for quitters. Bruise on the leg is a hell of a long way from the heart.
I can't believe you got that audio.
Hey.
That's crazy.
A move in silence.
I just love how Coach flipped on him real quick. Put your gear on. Know what? Nah, street clothes. Within 30 seconds.
A bruise on the leg is a heck of a long way from the heart.
Man, that's a bar.
I know. No, I don't think we're being too hard on Christian Pulisic. I don't.
I think if a coach had said that to Christian Pulisic, he would have been like,
Okay, I don't know about that.
I do. I was in the locker room.
That's true. That's how you got that audio. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. That's next.
Congratulations, Randy Arozarena, 2026 All-Star.
It is grand salami time! Randy Arozarena clears the bases.
It's kind of helped them hang in there throughout this year.
He likes being on the big stage.
It is gone! Randy Arozarena strikes again. Welcome to Randyland.
From the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc? We need to talk about the lights. Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes. A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes. You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best. Why Seattle and Seattle sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
There's always something new at LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma. Explore the all-new British Motorcycle Exhibition and the thrilling American Supercar Showcase. Fuel up at the brand-new cafe, then buckle up on the most advanced racing simulators anywhere. Plus exciting events in July. First Responders Appreciation Day on the 11th. Drive-in movie night on the 24th. Tacoma Cars and Coffee with a Hot Wheels track on the 25th. And cruise in on the 30th. Bring the family and see what's new. AmericasCarMuseum.org.
Protecting workers' rights is the goal! Thousands of workers will help power the excitement of Seattle's Summer of Soccer from June 11th through July 19th. If you're working in hotels, stadiums, restaurants, security, temp jobs, or app-based delivery, you have rights. From wage theft to minimum pay, the Seattle Office of Labor Standards wants you to know that you are protected. Call 206-256-5297 or visit seattle.gov/labor standards.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in. Any question. Top of mind. Sports, non-sports. It doesn't matter. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. When I say sports, non-sports, this is a very summary non-sports question. What's the GOAT ice cream flavor?
Vanilla bean.
I fear that's the answer, and I want to be critical of it because if I went to an ice cream shop, I always go for like a salted caramel or coffee. But if we're talking like greatest of all time, it probably is vanilla bean.
It's versatile.
I'm going cookies and cream.
That's not bad either.
But what's the base of that? Because it's
Sure,
vanilla
it's
bean.
vanilla,
With just
but-
like, I'm just saying vanilla bean.
Cookies and cream is its own flavor, though.
What if you got one ice cream flavor for the rest of your life?
Cookies and cream.
But you were also promised all the toppings you wanted.
I don't need any toppings on cookies and cream.
I'm going vanilla bean, but with lots of toppings because you can make it chocolate. You can add other flavors to it.
But then that alters the flavor so much. Then it becomes chocolate ice cream by putting chocolate syrup
But
on
you
it.
can't make chocolate ice cream vanilla ice cream. You can get 2 ice cream flavors out of vanilla.
But by putting other toppings on it, you lose the vanilla taste.
I don't know.
Clearly.
I have a question from Mama Bump. Did Bump get his phone access restored? Your mom misses you.
Mom clearly ain't been watching 4 hours of Bump and Stacy today.
She watches
Mom.
the show every single day.
You know what, Bump? You should just log into the text line at home and use that as your main version of your main way to correspond with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Hey,
Have your
text
mom
me at
text the text
866.
line, and then you text
Yeah.
on the text line. Everyone,
There you go.
if you need to reach Michael Bumpus, 866-979-3776. That is his only method of communication until 2:30 a.m. this coming morning, when his phone will
Wow.
finally be unlocked after 5 days.
6 days.
6 days?
It's crazy.
I wouldn't even know myself anymore. You're missing like
No, you
news.
would. You know yourself on a deeper level.
I don't think so.
You know?
No. Part of my personality is just scrolling. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Bump, we're taking my daughters to Wazoo in less than 2 weeks for her orientation.
Nice.
While she's doing that, where should my wife and I check out? I've never been there before. From Christine O'Clock.
Where should you check out? Cougar Country. You have to go there. I mean, it's changed since I've been in. You go to the Cub. They got a Pan Express in there. You know, I love me some Pan Express. You want to go to my office? That is the adult bar. You go to Rico's. That's more of a lounge with wine and all that good stuff. And stay out of trouble. Don't drink and drive.
208 says pistachio's the best ice cream.
Yeah. I've never heard anyone even
Have you
order
had
pistachios.
pistachio?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's just
They give
that doesn't crack the top 10.
They give you a pistachio like spumoni at Spaghetti Factory.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Stacy's no longer invited to the cookout. That's crazy. I was
mean,
never invited. in the
Yeah, I was
first
going to
place.
say, you have not
Yeah.
yet received an invite.
I've been standing in line, getting 1 spot closer and 2 spots further away, just kind of until the end of time. What I need to know: what country would you visit? You're given 2 weeks off, $10K cash.
What country?
Depending on where you go, you can make that go a long way.
I want to go to one of the like the Asian Pacific Islands because the golf there is really cheap.
You could just go play golf for 2 weeks
Yeah.
and stay in a really nice resort.
For like $500, you
Yeah.
could live for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I was going to say there's certain places where you could go, like some areas around Thailand, or like where like 2K will take you a long way.
Yeah.
And you can stay in some really cool
The-
Airbnbs.
you can play at like country club status golf courses for like $20.
You send me to LA with 2K in my pocket for 2 weeks, I'm homeless by day 3.
Facts.
I don't know what to do after that. 866-979-3776. When's the last time you opened up some sports cards or memorabilia?
It's my birthday. Someone gave me some.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'll go to the next question because I don't have an answer. Young influencers believe NBA dynasties are over, but I think one will happen it will happen by the end of this decade. What are your thoughts? Oh no, this is wrong. Hang on. Is there a game called NBA Dynasty, or are they talking about NBA Dynasties?
No, they're talking about NBA dynasties.
Okay. What are your thoughts on NBA Dynasties? Will it happen or not anytime soon?
I mean, the Thunder were really close to getting back to the final this year.
I think it'll happen.
Yeah.
I think there's like one every decade.
All right, so who's your choice? Thunder?
They're probably the closest.
I'll never support the Thunder.
Right, I would
anything they
never,
do.
but I think
Yeah.
of all the teams in the NBA,
Yeah.
they've got the best shot at it.
Yeah. Someone said, what happened? Getting locked out of your phone for 6 days is crazy.
Apple ID. too many times put in the wrong passcode. I'm not going to say who I think did it.
Yeah, you're not.
She might be listening.
She's definitely listening. She loves you very much. 866-979-3776. Great question. What's the most overrated summer barbecue food? God, I have so many answers for this. It's,
Now, are we talking food that goes on the grill or like a side dish you see at a barbecue?
Anything.
Coleslaw.
Yeah, a coleslaw.
Yeah.
It's definitely either coleslaw or potato salad.
It's coleslaw.
Okay.
Especially when it sits out, then it gets warm and it's all watery.
But here's the thing. But coleslaw, this is what's tough about coleslaw. Coleslaw, I've never just eaten. It's like added on to like a pulled pork sandwich, which actually makes it better.
You've never just eaten coleslaw?
No. Did I get further away?
Even on its own, it's not good. Yeah.
It is coleslaw, but what if I take that off the table because all of us are unanimous?
I would say potato salad, but
It is potato salad.
I got some
There's
aunts
some
who
good
make
potato
some good
salad.
potato salad, man. You're thinking of your potato salads, not ours.
Wow.
The deviled egg potato salad.
I don't like deviled eggs, and I didn't know that goes
apples
in
and
potato
raisins
salad.
in it. You know, what I mean,
First of all,
we don't
sometimes
do that.
apples can be a nice sweet kick to something that you, that you add. You know what? Raisins have a bad rap. We have a lot of hate
No,
for
they don't.
raisins.
They are-
No, we have a
they
lot of
are
hate
what
for
they
raisins,
are.
but sometimes they add a little bit of
When
texture.
are raisins good with anything, though? What do you add?
The only thing they're good
Oatmeal
with is
chocolate chip
oatmeal
cookies.
raisin
Yeah,
cookie.
oatmeal raisin
That's
cookies.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
But
it.
don't you think the raisins like quietly make them good?
No.
On that one thing. Nothing else.
Not even a salad.
No.
Raisins? No, hang on, I'll think of this.
Oh my
Matt,
God.
how much time do we
I
have
hate
until
when
break?
people try to give me advice with this Apple ID thing.
Why?
I've been at this for 5 days, okay?
What'd someone
Yo,
say?
bro, you can log into iCloud on your computer and reset it. You don't think I tried to do that? They locked me out because somebody entered it wrong too many times. Stop with this. I'm glad I'm off tomorrow, so I don't have to hear any of these dumb suggestions anymore. I've done it all.
Macaroni salad, another popular answer.
Macaroni salad is
salad might be the
overrated
answer.
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely overrated.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's
okay.
It's cold and I don't like the consistency of it.
There's 4 other sides I'm going to minimum before mac salad. I think it's a good way to wrap up the show.
Sure.
Wyman and Bob coming up next.
We show up every day.
Every day.
We give you our opinions.
Our opinions.
And you guys shoot them down.
You guys are
Down.
both gone tomorrow.
And it's all we are going tomorrow.
That's beside the point. That's beside the point.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoyed the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary. Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com.